Tonight, it's do or die in Evansville, Indiana. Jones gets his national championship shot against Logan Legit. Pretty Powerful defend the WWA Tag Team Championships against the 3 Count Boyz. This is the last chance for the 3 Count Boyz as long as Pretty Powerful are the champions. And 2 matches stand between CCW and his contract as an in-ring performer. CCW must defeat the unstoppable 747. Then, if CCW wins, then the Vanderpool vs. Dakota France main event will determine whether or not CCW is an actual roster member of the WWA. This is Hysteria.
Welcome to WWA Hysteria.
Get ready for a night of action.
WWA Hysteria from the Evansville Coliseum. It's do or die. I am Drake Jackson, and I'm joined in the booth tonight by Colonel Harper.
Yeah, you know, I gotta tell you, Drake Jackson, I would be happier about being here tonight if we were not starting off the night with CCW, who has been a thorn in my side for well over a month now. And I gotta be honest, I'm just hoping to see him get his ass kicked.
Well, let me tell you something. CCW's career is on the line. Vanderpool is making him and Dakota France jump through hoops to make CCW an active competitor here in the World Wrestling Alliance. We'll fill you in more on that in just a second.
His opponent, weighing in at over 400 pounds, he is the Sergeant at Arms, the Mighty 747.
CCW had to win both of his matches at WWA Live events here recently, and it looks like he's gonna have to win this one tonight. And he's already getting the jump on 747, which might be one of the only chances he has.
Oh, look at this cheap, despicable piece of trash. He couldn't even try to attack him from the front because he knew that 747 would lay him out in seconds.
CCW had to join up with his brother Ray Waddell to defeat the Trendkillers in Eddyville, Kentucky, which he did, and he had to defeat the man who is claiming to be the World Wrestling Alliance champion still, Alexander Knight, and he did. And tonight,
oh my goodness, a reversal to the snake eyes.
CCW must defeat 747, but also in our main event, Dakota France must defeat the WWA president, Vanderpool, in order for CCW to be considered as an active roster member here in the World Wrestling Alliance.
Now listen, you say that like it's even gonna matter what happens in the main event, because first CCW has to defeat 747. And even though things aren't going our way from the start, I can tell you 747 is going to bounce back and he's going to destroy CCW.
Well, that scheduled main event will continue regardless of this match outcome, but if Vanderpool walks into that with 747 already having defeated CCW, Vanderpool doesn't really have any stakes on the line. He just gets to try to punish Dakota France even further, which I'm sure he'd love.
I think all of us would love to see Dakota France get his ass handed to him.
CCW teeing off on 747 in the corner. We know CCW for his power. He's looking leaner and meaner since returning, but he doesn't have enough to pull 747 out of that corner, and a huge splash from the Sergeant at Arms. 747 lining up, sending CCW off of the ropes. Here comes the rebound, clothesline, no. The world-class kicker of ass with a back elbow, and still 747 not knocked down. The big man is still up.
Yeah, it's gonna take... Oh, look at that, it barely bounced off 747. You're gonna need a tow truck if you want to be able to take out 747. Oh my God!
CCW was calling for a big offensive maneuver there, but 747 with a huge clothesline onto the world-class kicker of ass, raining down strikes. Folks, we got a lot coming up tonight in our main event. We noted Dakota France versus Vanderpool. Also, the national championship is on the line. Jones gets that national championship shot one-on-one against Logan Legit.
Now, I need to bring something up for this match.
Ooh!
Apart from just decimating CCW, which, looks like 747 might be going up for the bonsai drop.
No way. CCW getting out of the ring. There's that ring presence, that ring awareness.
Yeah, credit where credit's due. CCW has good wherewithal because he knows he can't hang with 747 if he's going man-to-man. He has to try to escape to the outside, and even then, he's still getting his butt whipped.
CCW has that wherewithal because he is a ring veteran. You know, we talk about people who have been here since the doors opened. CCW opened the doors. 747 now teeing off on CCW, and Josh Mackey caught in the crossfire.
What does it matter if somebody was the first to do something? Like, truly, who do people remember? Do they remember Chuck Berry or do they remember the Beatles?
I don't remember either of those things and don't know what you're talking about.
I hate you so much. Now, I do want to address something regarding this matchup. Now, this is the first time these two have ever gone one-on-one. And something that kind of breaks my heart in it, and I found this out from talking to 747 because we are good buddies. We hang out outside of here. I don't know if you are aware, 747 looked up to CCW as a little kid. Even at one point, 747 was such a fanboy, he started calling himself CCW Jr. And it took him until, I don't think so.
CCW's going for that scoop slam. It looks like 747's able to block it.
It took 747 until he went through training, became a wrestler himself, to realize that CCW was a hack, to realize that he was a fraud, to realize that he was not able to hang with 747.
Well, and CCW's having trouble hanging with 747 right now, admittedly. CCW's dreams of being back on this active roster maybe squashed. No, a kick out from CCW. And you got to think if 747 was able to apply all that weight on a lateral body press, that could have been it for CCW.
Now, I think what the true downfall with CCW, apart from number one being CCW, was he tried to lift 747. These men faced off in a 3-on-3 tag match in Eddyville a few weeks back. And again, the entire match, no matter how many times they tried, CCW was not able to get 747 off his feet. He was not able to lift him himself. It took 747 being the illegal man and being knocked to the outside for the match to eventually go to the Waddell brothers and Dakota France. I think if he keeps trying to lift 747, it's not going to go his way.
Crossbody off the... My goodness!
Look at the strength.
7, jeez.
God, he's a hoss.
Catching him off of that crossbody into a front power slam. What?
It looked like 747 stopped it himself. The world's strongest airplane decided he wanted to go again for the bonsai drop, and I don't blame him for it.
Well, and 747 lining CCW up for something big. Could he be looking for that drop again? No, CCW able to get out of the way.
I don't blame him for it because whenever 747 drops all of his weight, it's like a megaton bomb smashing your chest. Ribs could be broken. Your lungs could be punctured. Honestly, we're not even talking about the end of a contest. This could be the end of CCW's life if he takes a bonsai drop.
Look at this, 747 toying with CCW now. Draping the arm, he's got him up.
Oh my God.
Spinning side slam, no, CCW fighting out of it and picking the ankle.
Oh, is he going for an ankle lock?
CZW has realized that he has to get 747 off of that base in order to neutralize him.
Yeah, the problem is that the base...
Oh!
Oh, cool.
Look at that,
No
747 didn't even move. More strikes from CZW. And we're in a standoff, ladies and gentlemen. Oh,
Whoa.
CZW goes low.
Where is the bell? What is with this bias officiating?
Usually that kick leads to a power bomb, but CZW, who knows if he can even get 747 up for a power bomb?
Who knows? I know he cannot do it.
He's able to get
747 is
himself
just
some
too
room.
big, too strong. You can get these kicks all you want, but all it's going to do is prolong your death.
747 now. CZW is able to get himself some room by booting 747 away multiple times. Still not able to knock the big man off his feet. CZW with some quickness.
Oh my God!
Big clothesline.
No, 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 no. No, roll over, roll over.
Look at this, 747 now going to the outside of the ring. Pinfalls cannot happen outside of the ring. Submissions cannot happen outside of the ring.
Look at the brilliant ring strategy of 747. I told you he could learn.
Look at this, CZW's trying to get 747 back in the ring, but a cheap shot from 747 from the floor as CZW was caught up in those ropes. 747 now making his way back into the ring. CZW is going to have to think about some sort of plan of action if he's going to take out 747, because so far everything has failed. Big scoop slam from the big man. Crowd here behind CZW. 747 again trying to line up that bonsai drop.
Well, this time he has to be able to hit it. I don't think CZW has anything left in the tank. He can't reverse it.
No!
Oh, no, no, no.
Wait a second. Nick Depp is here and he's got a shovel.
And look at the irony of the man who is known for burying up-and-coming talent getting destroyed by a shovel.
Look at that, he's out here with a shovel. Nick Depp swinging that shovel around. We will see Nick Depp in action later on.
That's right, as he takes on Josiah.
The referee's getting Nick Depp out of here. The shovel's been left in the ring.
Wait, no! Oh my goodness!
CZW hits 747 with the shovel.
No!
Power bomb from CZW.
No! No!
1, 2, 3.
Your winner, CZW.
CZW picks up the victory, but his career is still on the line. Later tonight, Dakota France has to face the WWA President Vanderpool. One-on-one for CZW's career. Look at that, 747's already back up. Folks, stick around because we have those big matches coming up, but another big match we have coming up. Last chance. Tag Team Championships are on the line. Pretty Powerful versus the 3 Count Boyz. This is the 3 Count Boyz' last shot against Pretty Powerful as long as they are the WWA Tag Team Champions. This is Hysteria.
Did you know that you miss over half of the WWA's exciting action by just watching online? Check out the World Wrestling Alliance when they come near you. Event info and ticket prices can be found on Facebook.com/WWAISNOW.
A quick Hysteria update: the scheduled fatal 4-way for the tag team titles did not take place at Showdown as Lizzy, Sixx, Nick Willis, and Michael Caden were all attacked backstage at the last Hysteria. As a result, they could not compete. Danger at the Door took place in Owensboro, Kentucky, and one of the tribulations that Vanderpool put in front of CCW took place. CCW had to team with his brother Ray Waddell to face the Trendkillers. Luckily, the two brothers beat the Trendkillers, leading to the matches tonight to determine CCW's in-ring status.
WWA Hysteria, and there you see Alexander Knight. Alexander Knight coming out for a one-on-one contest against superstar Ray Waddell. Alexander Knight has that WWA Championship with him, but he is not the rightful
Making his
champion.
way to the ring, weighing in at 235 pounds, he is the self-proclaimed greatest pure wrestler in the world today, the Cavalier Profiteer, Alexander Knight!
Of course, Alexander Knight with that WWA Championship. It is rightfully Josiah's, but after an assault back at Independence Day, Alexander Knight walked out with that WWA Championship and is claiming to be the rightful WWA champion.
I believe possession is 9/10 of the law.
And his opponent, weighing in at 265 pounds, he is the man-bun mastodon, the southpaw hotshot, superstar Ray Waddell.
Alexander Knight going one-on-one with Ray Waddell here, but also, as we mentioned earlier, the main event tonight, Dakota France versus Vanderpool. CCW's career is on the line. Also, national title match. National title on the line, the champion. Logan Legit taking on the challenger, Jones of the People's Temple. And also, the Tag Team Championships are on the line. 3-Count Boyz versus the champions, Pretty Powerful. It's the 3-Count Boyz' last chance, as long as Pretty Powerful are the champions.
And you know what? Good. I don't think the 3-Count Boyz should be getting any more shots at the championship belt. You have Munchie, who is a serial failure. All he does is get opportunities that he lets slip through his fingers.
He does want cereal.
And I'm sorry, maybe we just need to address that MK Swift should not be getting championship opportunities this early into his career. He has not been here more than a handful of months.
He's being impressive in that handful of months. I think you're just mad because he turned his back on you and Vanderpool and Nick Depp at 740.
I'm mad that he decided to shoot his own career in the foot this early. And you know what? I'm even madder that Ray Waddell, the man who put me in a neck brace, the man who put me on crutches, is being this cocky before the contest starts against Alexander Knight.
That's something we haven't really talked about, but at the end of the last episode of Hysteria, that man that's in the ring right now hit a rolling elbow on 747, causing him to come crashing off the apron through Colonel Harper and through a table, and it was downright hilarious.
Yeah, for those who watched it, I don't think you would describe it as hilarious. I saw my friend Nick Depp being assaulted by that evil villain, Ray Waddell. By that terrorist, Ray Waddell. I was trying to stop him to save and help my friend, and instead, he punched me, choked me out, put me on a table, and then put 747 through me. I had to get my spine realigned. I'm currently in a neck brace. I'm currently on crutches. Do you know what life has been like for me? I've been drinking my meals through a straw for weeks. And yet, the hillbilly hooligans of Evansville, Indiana, still cheer for this man like he is their prophet, like he's their messiah.
Well, as a man who was seriously injured in that wrestling ring, I'm going to tell you what was told to me. Quit milking it.
Quit milking it? I'm sorry, do you want to look at my hospital bills?
No, I'm all right.
Meanwhile, we have to look at the real WWA Heavyweight Champion, the People's WWA Heavyweight Champion. And we have to see that he is unfortunately forced to face against this menace, Ray Waddell.
Alexander Knight letting the fans get under his skin. Of course, as we've mentioned several times, into the opposition of Colonel Harper. He's not the rightful WWA champion.
He's not. How is he not the rightful WWA champion?
Well, he's never won it in a match. He just came out and in the middle of a match for the WWA Championship just absolutely brained Josiah with 2 chair shots and then just walked out with the WWA Championship. And Josiah has not been able to catch up since.
I don't know if you caught it, but I believe Alexander Knight might be using some Colonel Harper strategy, which I approve of.
Oh yeah, Colonel Harper strategy. I don't know if it's as much strategy as it is Folks, Alexander Knight has a chain. And I expect that to come into play in this match because guess what? He usually does.
He has a chain? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't see him. He was just checked. He doesn't have a chain on him.
Yeah.
Are you talking about a chain of fools? Is that an Aretha Franklin reference from you?
Yeah, you're a chain of fools.
You're a, well, you know what?
I don't know who Aretha Franklin is either.
It's imagine Etta James, but a little more successful.
Don't know Etta James. Folks, stay with us because also coming up, actually right after this match, we've got Jordan Whittaker taking on Brett Taylor. And also, the rightful WWA champion Josiah will be facing Nick Depp one-on-one.
Listen, I got to be honest. I want to promote the upcoming matches.
Oh.
But, ooh, that's right, ref. Back him up. He's in the ropes. Keep this as a fair contest. Listen, we want to promote the upcoming matches, but don't mind me. I'm going to be glued to this match as we're watching it because as much as I love our Cruiserweight champion, Prince Vanderpool, and as much as I love 747 to Nick Depp, I have to give Alexander Knight credit where credit's due. I think he's the best grounded wrestler in this company. And listen, Ray Waddell is a hell of a striker. I may not like him. I may hope that he gets his ass kicked, but he is a very tough competitor. I think this might be our most evenly set up match that we have tonight.
Well, a test of strength gets turned around on Alexander Knight. Ray Waddell now going for the ankle and picking the leg. Nice maneuver from the superstar.
What is he, Larry Zbyszko?
Ray Waddell has had a pretty good month ever since winning that Fans Bring the Weapons match on the last episode of Hysteria against Nick Depp.
You say he's had a pretty good month, but wait until he gets a letter from my lawyers.
Alexander Knight making his way to the outside of the ring, getting some space between himself and the southpaw hotshot. Ray's boss chants echoing throughout the Coliseum.
Yeah, they seem to like chanting Ray is boss, but whose name is on Ray's paychecks? It's Vanderpool's.
Look at this. Alexander Knight showing he is a formidable wrestler himself in the ring, turning it around on superstar Ray Waddell. Both of these men know each other like the back of their hands.
I believe we might see a couple back of the hands thrown at each other. Oh my goodness, look at the chain wrestling.
Yeah, Ray Waddell getting out from under. Ray Waddell is a student of the game, and it's well known how much he studies about his opponents and other classic wrestling matches, but Alexander Knight tends to do the same thing as well.
Did you just see that despicable move by Ray Waddell? He was trying to use the ropes for leverage. Who would do such a thing?
He realized his mistake immediately and got off of that bottom rope because that's what honorable wrestlers do, and now he's back up with a shoulder block onto the Cavalier Profiteer.
Realized his mistake.
Alexander Knight to the outside, preventing Ray Waddell from continuing his offense.
Look at the big brains on this man, Alexander Knight.
Yeah, he's got to have big brains for that big head.
He does have a pretty large noggin.
And a stomp to the fingers from Ray Waddell.
And he stomped them. He stomped them through the ropes. Why is the referee not backing him up? Okay. Alexander Knight had to get to the outside to get a little space. He had to regroup.
Hey, quit putting your hands on the apron. If you're trying to get outside of the ring, get further at least.
You know what? I don't have an answer to that. You are correct. We will be going over that with strategy in the future.
Alexander Knight breaking the count and getting back outside to the ring, pleading his case with the fans here. And he's claiming to be the rightful champion on the outside, but he's not.
He is still the rightful champion. Uh-oh.
He's got Alexander Knight by the shirt. And Ray Waddell sends him back in. Oh, double axe handle misses from the Cavalier Profiteer. Ray Waddell able to get out of the way. Uh-oh. Trip from the superstar.
Who trips?
Oh, and a hard left hand across the face.
Yeah, I took one of those. I took one of those a few weeks ago. They hurt a lot more than they look.
Ray Waddell sending Alexander Knight into the other top turnbuckle. He's going for number 3. Boop. And he's going for number 4. Fans are feeling it. Oh! And Alexander Knight is down in the middle of the ring. 1, 2. Kick out from
Listen-
Alexander Knight.
Listen to how these ungrateful fans are treating their champion. God, he can't get no respect.
Ray Waddell now with a hard kick to the back of Alexander Knight. Oh, he's calling for one more.
No! I disagree. Don't do it one more time.
Hard kick again from Ray Waddell, excuse me. Fans are chanting again one more time, but Alexander Knight's able to get to his feet as Ray Waddell backs him into the corner. Uh-oh. Ray Waddell's got that left hand. No, Alexander Knight again getting out of the ring. And he's
There you
calling
go.
for a timeout. There's no timeouts in wrestling. Look at this.
Wait, no. Alexander
Ray
Knight,
Waddell
no,
on
look
the
out!
apron. No, the kick
Look at the
misses.
strategy.
Low kick from Alexander Knight and a DDT
Oh!
onto the apron.
Same DDT you've seen people like Jake the Snake Roberts end careers with. Although I don't know why Alexander Knight didn't immediately go for the cover. It was on the harshest part of the ring. I think he would have
What?
gone. Yep. I knew he was spending too much time. Damn it.
Alexander Knight getting that opening he has so desperately needed throughout this match.
Now that is the problem. Drake Jackson, you can tell me if you agree or disagree with it, but I think he's going for too many shots to the head on Ray Waddell. Unfortunately, Ray Waddell doesn't have a brain to damage, and I don't think that it's a very smart strategy.
Well, I definitely disagree with that. Hard right hands from Alexander Knight, the self-proclaimed best professional wrestler in the world, and the self-proclaimed WWA champion.
You say self-proclaimed, but there's nobody else who is more rightful of a champion than Alexander Knight.
I don't know about that. He never pinned the champion. He never made the champion tap out. He literally just hit him with the chair and stole the belt. Oh, good Lord. There's that chain that Alexander Knight hid, and he's choking out Ray Waddell. Referee didn't see it, and Alexander Knight sticks it back into the middle turnbuckle.
A chain, you say?
Yeah, a chain.
I don't think I saw anything. All I saw was Ray Waddell was choking under the pressure of this match.
Off the ropes, double axe handle by Alexander Knight. One kick out from Ray Waddell.
Oh, that's right. Stretch him.
Look at this, he's working on that shoulder and neck area of superstar Ray Waddell. And Ray Waddell's probably still feeling the effects of that brutal Fans Bring the Weapons match on the last Hysteria. I know he's had a couple matches since then, so he hasn't really had time to rest either.
I don't know if rest would have helped him much after that match.
Look at this, Alexander Knight on the middle rope. Oh, wait
my
a
God.
second. Northern Lights suplex from Ray Waddell right over his own head. And that may be the opening that Ray Waddell needs. Oh, hard. Single leg drop kick. 1, 2. Kick out from Ray Waddell.
You know, I don't think he had the leg hooked quite well enough. Unfortunately, gave a little bit too much weight on the lower half, let Ray Waddell get his shoulders up.
Ray Waddell struggling to get to his feet. He's fighting to the ropes to try to stand up. And Alexander Knight forcing down on Ray Waddell on that middle rope. Look at this. Oh, Alexander Knight now choking out Ray Waddell. Again, he's hiding that chain with his body.
He
With
has
his
until
body
5. He
between
can
the chain
choke him
and
on the
ref.
rope all he wants. A chain, you keep saying he has a chain on him. The man was patted down at the start of the match. There was no chain that was found.
Oh! Hard stop from Alexander Knight.
Plus, who needs a chain if you got feet to stomp Ray's head in?
Oh, another one. And still working on the shoulder and neck area, albeit he's doing the other shoulder now, but that's really torquing that neck of the superstar.
As somebody currently in a neck brace, I can tell you that whenever you get it dislocated, whenever you get neck injuries, it's a real, well, I don't want to say pain in the neck, but I think you get what I'm trying to say.
Oh yeah, no, definitely believe that your neck is hurting. Alexander Knight now with a gourd buster onto the superstar. Fans here not feeling the Cavalier Profiteer.
Listen, they cannot feel the Cavalier Profiteer all they want. That's not going to change the fact from this man being in control of this match. And the fact that this man is definitely going to walk away as the victor.
Oh my God, Buster! What? No!
Wait, he didn't go for the pin. And you know, that's why I think Alexander Knight, despite that incredible reversal by Ray Waddell, that's why I think Alexander Knight is going to walk away with the win. Ray Waddell was in perfect position to get a pinfall, and he didn't go for it. I don't know if it's because he was knocked silly or if it was because of hubris or he's hurt, but you know what? A real winner, a real athlete would have known that that was a perfect time to go for a pinfall and end this match.
Ray Waddell very clearly couldn't have gotten any leverage on Alexander Knight for that pin, as he's had so much taken out of him with Alexander Knight choking him with that chain and working over that shoulder and neck area. Uh-oh! Back elbow from Ray Waddell. Both men are up, able to avoid the count out. Big boot from Ray Waddell. Oh! Another clothesline. Oh, hard left hand from the superstar.
You son of a tramp, I am getting so tired of the Waddell brothers.
Oh,
God!
A flurry
Will
of
you
strikes
count
from the
faster than that,
superstar.
Devin? That should have been a 5 count. Ray is not the boss. I'm so tired of them saying Ray is boss.
Ray Waddell now has Alexander Knight in the corner. Whips him into that corner. Ray Waddell able to balance back out. Runs Alexander Knight head first into that top turnbuckle, and what's he thinking now? Bounces back in and a hard lariat from Ray Waddell. 1, 2, kick out.
You can't put Alexander Knight away that easy. I'm hoping Alexander Knight is going to be the one to finally put one of the Waddell brothers in the hospital as they deserve.
Ray Waddell has that cape that Alexander Knight has been wearing, and he's putting it on, playing mind games with the unrightful WWA champion.
But I have to ask you, Drake Jackson, is that a very smart idea?
Yes.
We know who Alexander Knight is as a champion. We know who he is as a competitor. I think it's hubris. If you try to go to the top rope, if you try to act like a superhero, he's going to put you in your place.
Look at this. Ray Waddell's up top. He's got the cape.
Oh, no!
1, 2. Kick out from Alexander Knight. Ray Waddell saying that the cape does not work. And it looks like he might be calling for that big rolling elbow that has put down many opponents in the past.
I gotta be honest, I'm getting a little PTSD from it.
Look at this. No, Alexander Knight ducks it. Runs him into the turnbuckle. O'Connor roll blocked. Ray Waddell with a flying boot to the side of the head. Uh-oh, he could be calling for that Gonzo bomb. No. Alexander Knight. Nightmare. 1, 2. Kick out.
I just don't understand what these men have left with. I mean, they've been beating the daylights out of each other since the opening bell. No, he's not.
Alexander Knight is trying to figure out what to do here against Ray Waddell. Oh, he could be lining up for that finishing maneuver that we've seen him end a lot of opponents with, but Ray able to pile drive him out of it. 1, 2. Wow.
Oh, thank goodness. Oh my God, that was too close.
What a kick out from Alexander Knight. I thought that was it.
I agree, what a kick out from Alexander Knight.
Ray Waddell able to outmaneuver Alexander Knight on that one. But if a pile driver hasn't put down Alexander Knight, what will at this stage of the match? Oh, hard left hand from Ray. And he's placing Alexander Knight
What do you think he's going up to
top
do?
turnbuckle. Could be lining up for that muscle buster we've seen him utilize. No, Alexander Knight able to fight out of it.
Oh my God.
DDT.
DDT from the top rope. Is this going to be what puts Ray Waddell away?
1, 2. Kick out.
Now, Drake Jackson, I have to ask you, if you are in this competition, if you are Alexander Knight, I know that would be your dream. You will never achieve it. But if you were Alexander Knight, what do you go with now? A top rope DDT wasn't enough to put Ray Waddell away.
I don't know. I have no clue how you would beat a man like Ray Waddell, especially when you're this late into the match and nothing else has worked. And look at that, Alexander Knight has that chain we've been talking about. He's not even trying to hide it.
Oh, that chain. Okay, I'm sorry.
I played dumb.
I'm not playing. I thought that you were just seeing things, you know. I know people from Evansville have bad eyesight. What is the referee doing? If he wants to get disqualified, don't stop him from doing it.
Devin taking the safety of both of these men into his own hands, trying to ensure that the match goes on here for the fans. Saito suplex.
Ray Waddell calling his shot.
Ray Waddell is going up top, but has he had too much taken out of him?
No, don't do it. Oh my God.
Senton!
I think we might have just knocked the boards loose.
1, 2, no! Alexander Knight still able to kick out.
Ray Waddell dropping all 425 pounds of his mass onto Alexander Knight, and it still was not enough to end this competition. Or however much he weighs. I'm just spitballing it from what he looks like.
Ray Waddell now firing up, trying to figure out what's needed to put Alexander Knight away. What can he do? He's tried everything.
What he can do, he can hope, he can pray, he can beg, but it will not make a difference. Ray Waddell is going to pull on the energy from all of the people in the Evansville Coliseum, and he is still going to come up short. Because you know what? You are just not royalty, and you are just not the champion. Oh my God.
Lord,
oh my God, no.
Here?
Not a gonzo bomb from the... Not from Brett's rope, that's the most dangerous rope.
Oh, Alexander Knight has the eyes. Double thumb to the eyes.
Oh, I bet he didn't see that one coming.
And there's that opening that Alexander Knight has been looking for as he positions himself up top. Ray Waddell not really able to see where he is, and he backs up on the rope. And it causes Alexander Knight to lose balance and hit that top rope.
The despicable Ray Waddell using the ropes to his advantage.
Ray Waddell now still trying to hit that muscle buster onto Alexander Knight, presumably. No!
Oh my God,
what's he going up top for?
No, he can't. No, my God!
Hurricane Rana! Ray Waddell now going to the corner. He's feeling it. Can he put away Alexander Knight?
He's calling his shot. I don't know, Drake Jackson.
No, a duck from Alexander Knight. 1, 2, 3.
Yes!
The winner of this contest, Alexander Knight.
Alexander Knight with a quick roll up onto Ray Waddell. He's walking away with that WWA Championship. Once again, that is not his.
That's right, the rightful champion walking away with a victory.
Well, he did pick up a victory over Ray Waddell here. Ray can't believe it. After all that they put each other through, a roll-up finishes it from Alexander Knight. And ladies and gentlemen, later on tonight in our main event, it's a match to possibly reinstate CCW as an in-ring competitor in the WWA. Dakota France versus Vanderpool. Stick around, this is Hysteria.
Be sure to follow the World Wrestling Alliance online. You can find updates, event info, and more at facebook.com/WWAISNOW. Also, you can find us on Twitter and Instagram at WWAISNOW. Full shows and more video content can be found at youtube.com/WWAISNOW. Also, the WWA is now on TikTok. Find us at WWAISNOW1.
WWA Hysteria. You can see the Trendkillers on the way to the ring. And we've got a special announcement for you guys at home. Make sure you make it out to the next World Wrestling Alliance event at Eddyville, Kentucky, because there's going to be a tag team elimination tournament. And the winners of that tournament will not only get the WWA Tag Team Championship, but I am proud to announce that on the next episode of Hysteria, the winners of that tournament will also face the Rock and Roll Express, Ricky Morton, Robert Gibson, here back in the Evansville Coliseum.
And I'm interested to hear what the Trendkillers have to say about this. I interviewed Cortland Moore and Michael Caden on the Girlcast a few weeks ago, and I gotta tell you, they were not happy with what has currently been going on in this company, and I don't blame them. They should have gotten their rematch weeks ago, and the fact that we haven't been able to put it together is truly a tragedy. A tragedy. Pardon me. Getting a little excited.
Well, they're not scheduled for action. Let's see what they have to say.
Hey, that's Morse code for shut up. Look, the quicker you all shut up, the faster we can get out of here. It is an absolute disgrace and a crime that the Trendkillers haven't gotten their tag team championship rematch yet. Hey, by the way, Vanderpool, if you're watching, you know where to find me.
I mean, I do too. I help put the matches together.
We deserve a one-on-one shot for those tag team titles that we never lost.
The Trendkillers were not pinned in that triple threat match for the WWA Tag Team Championships, but they still lost the match.
Caden, I don't think they can hear you. Here. Calm your ass down. Shut up! Listen, that's all fine and dandy. We keep getting screwed over every show, but that's fine, because in Owensboro, on September the 11th, there's gonna be a championship chase. And that means the Trendkillers are going to regain their tag team championships. Hey, Mikey, what are you looking at? Have you sold any of my damn t-shirts yet?
Well, they're calling out Mikey.
Hey, fat boy, listen to me real quick. You big freaking turd. If you want to get in this ring and play, stuntman Mikey, that's all fine and dandy. You can do that like a guy like Tyler Hawkins, because no one gives a damn about him. But let me tell you something. If you are looking for a real challenge, you can find yourself a tag team partner. It can be that kid sitting next to you. I don't know what his name is. It can be Kat over there selling tickets. It could be Josh Mackey. I don't care who it is. But if you want a challenge and you're up to it, whenever you grow a set of balls, you can find your partner. Devin, shut your mouth before I put your balls in a mailbox and crush them for 20 minutes straight. When you want a challenge, find yourself a tag team partner and come face the greatest tag team in the WWA, the Trendkillers.
Well, strong words from the Trendkillers toward Mikey, the merchandise guy, who did pick up a victory over Tyler Hawkins on the last Hysteria, but that's not all we have, because later tonight, National Championship, Logan Legit defending against Jones. Jones finally has his national title shot. This is Hysteria.
We here at the World Wrestling Alliance would like to thank Forthright for allowing us to use their song Hit the Floor as the official theme of WWA Hysteria. Check out their music on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, or wherever you get your music. Be sure to check them out on Facebook at facebook.com/ForthrightBand, Twitter at ForthrightMusic, and on YouTube by searching Forthright.
Tonight, I got Jordan Whittaker. I don't like him very much. I think he stinks. He smells bad. Why does his hair always gotta be wet for? I think it's just greasy. Tonight, I'm gonna show everybody what I think he is, a loser. And that Brett Taylor is number 1, the cruiserweight of all Kentucky.
That's actually something I wanted to bring up. The last time that we saw Jordan Whittaker, he did manage to pull off a fluke, a miracle victory against 747. But again, his last matchup was against a much larger, a much slower, a much more strength-based opponent. That's something that Jordan Whittaker is better at dealing with. Tonight he's going one-on-one with Brett Taylor. Brett Taylor is a much smaller competitor, so he's going to be losing a bit of an advantage in the strength department. However, he's quick as hell. He's like you ever tried to wrangle a chicken?
I have not.
Well, you know, maybe I spend my weekends doing more hillbilly stuff than you. But
trying to choke one once.
Grabbed a few roosters in my day. I believe Brett Taylor is going to be much faster than Jordan Whittaker. I think he's going to be able to roll him up. I think he's going to be able to get the victory out of nowhere.
Jordan Whittaker and Brett Taylor facing off in that ring. Brett Taylor wants nothing more to make an impact in his WWA return. Unfortunately, he's come up on the losing end against Nick Willis and Logan Legit here recently.
Brett Taylor has been recently getting a little bit of experience down in Mexico with a few excursions. He was wrestling under a mask down there under the name Rey Phoenix. I don't know if you...
Hey, he was not. That's not.
Well, I haven't seen under the mask, and they both have tattoos, so you cannot tell me that is not the case.
Come on. Brett Taylor getting all stretched out and limber, but so is Jordan Whittaker. Brett Taylor mentioning something to the referee here.
Brett Taylor trying to get an advantage by whispering sweet nothings to the referee.
Brett Taylor goes low, gets out of the way of that lockup. Jordan Whittaker's fighting out, pounding away at those hands.
Oh my God. Look at him just manhandling Brett Taylor like Brett Taylor's a child.
Yeah, but Brett's trying to fight out of it, and it's not happening. Front slam from Jordan Whittaker.
All right, well, there's no need for that. Jordan Whittaker not taking this competition seriously. That might come back to bite him.
Brett kicks the bottom rope, and he can't let his frustration get the best of him, or else he'll lose to Jordan Whittaker quick.
Now, I got to tell you, watching Brett's past few matches, I think that might be his biggest downfall. Brett Taylor, he lets the emotions get to him a little too easy. He throws tantrums a lot. He'll kick the ropes, he'll scream at the ref, and usually it gives his opponents the advantage they need. However, if he can get control... Was that a cartwheel?
It was a cartwheel. Jordan Whittaker able to get out of that arm wringer position and apply one of his own into an arm drag and an arm lock.
I don't know if that was an arm drag or if it was ripping Brett Taylor's arm out of his socket.
Either way, it gets the job done. Jordan Whittaker tried to go for a rope break in there to break the hold, but Brett Taylor was not letting him get there, so he's working on the arm himself, but Brett Taylor able to keep up and a thumb to the eye.
God, I love a good thumb to the eye.
Look at this, Jordan Whittaker, a victim to Brett Taylor's headlock as Brett Taylor takes him to the mat.
Jordan Whittaker appears to be trying to get out, but Brett Taylor has really good weight positioning on it, even for a smaller competitor. I believe Jordan Whittaker is currently trying to tap out. I think that's why he's stomping his feet so much.
Brett Taylor being brought to his feet and brought up into the air, sent off the ropes. Jordan Whittaker showing off that agility. Big strike. They both duck out of the way. Huge kick.
Oh my God!
To the floor. Jeez.
Somebody is going to need to check on Brett Taylor.
Yeah, Brett Taylor just got dropped on his face out here to the outside of the ring.
Oh my goodness. Now see, that was his problem. He was doing fine whenever he was just going with the strength advantage, whenever he was using things, you know, that more honorable competitors usually use, like thumbs to the eye. Whenever he tried to go strength for strength with Jordan Whittaker, I'm sorry, that's just a competition you're going to lose.
Brett Taylor chucked to the outside. And again, he goes to the outside trying to collect himself. Look at this. Triangle drop kick from Jordan Whittaker catching Brett Taylor off guard. Brett turned his back for too long to mouth off to the audience.
How despicable, how low of Jordan Whittaker to attack a distracted man.
Jordan Whittaker takes it to the air.
Oh,
No!
I don't think so.
Brett Taylor. Looks like Jordan Whittaker may have seriously damaged his leg on that dive, catching himself, and Brett Taylor immediately attacking that leg of Jordan Whittaker.
And look at Brett Taylor.
Oh!
He's on him. It's like a little firecracker. Now here's the thing, if you take out that leg of Jordan Whittaker and you start a 10 count, he's not gonna be able to get to his feet. He's not gonna be able to stay in this competition, which is why if I'm Brett Taylor, I don't know if I'd be getting him back into the ring. Maybe he wants all the credit of a pinfall victory. That does kind of boost the ego. Oh! Goodness, look at the leg drop.
Huge leg drop on the apron onto Jordan Whittaker. Brett Taylor now still working on that leg of Jordan Whittaker. That is the opening that Brett Taylor has decided to exploit, and you can see Jordan Whittaker writhing in pain. Brett Taylor was able to get out of the way of that dive, and he's paying for it right now. Hard elbows from Brett Taylor. And Brett Taylor now standing on that leg. Moonsault to the leg of Jordan Whittaker.
I don't know if I've ever seen a moonsault to the leg. It's interesting, it's innovative offense. I'll give him credit where credit's due.
Yeah, very innovative offense from Brett Taylor to target that leg. And you gotta wonder if Brett Taylor has any leg submissions in that bag of tricks to take advantage of this injury.
I mean, you have a variety of things that you could go with. I honestly would probably go for a single hook Boston Crab. That might end this competition.
Hard swing from Brett Taylor. Grounding Jordan Whittaker once again. Oh, Brett Taylor bouncing Jordan Whittaker's head off the top rope and a hard chop from Brett Taylor.
Sheep seats. Here he goes. Oh my God.
Off the ropes goes Brett Taylor. Jordan Whittaker's out of the way. Hard splash from Jordan Whittaker in the corner. And you can see Jordan Whittaker limping and favoring that leg, and that didn't help.
And Brett Taylor going back to the leg.
Yeah, he's got that leg wrapped up on the top rope. Good Lord. Now he's got Jordan Whittaker caught in that top rope.
And you know what? The referee can count all he wants, but it is the referee's job to get Jordan Whittaker's leg out from the ropes.
Oh, hard elbow to the back of Jordan Whittaker while Jordan is caught in those ropes.
You know what? I want to talk real quick about the strategy of Brett Taylor. What I just thought about, what is Jordan Whittaker's finisher?
The spear.
Is Jordan Whittaker going to be able to run for a spear if his leg is taken out?
Exactly. That is a big factor that Brett Taylor has seemingly taken out of the equation. Can Jordan Whittaker get enough speed to run to make the spear impactful? No, Jordan Whittaker's still kicking out.
You know, as far as Brett Taylor goes, if he's trying to earn himself a WWA contract, he's currently making a good impression on the people that make those contracts.
Brett Taylor laying in that headlock on Jordan Whittaker. And Jordan Whittaker fighting back to his feet as he hears the crowd in the Evansville Coliseum cheering him on. Oh, and a hard drop kick from onto Jordan Whittaker interrupts his momentum, and Brett Taylor follows it up with a punt kick. More stomps from Brett Taylor. Just laying him in here. And he shoves the referee. He needs to be careful not to get himself disqualified in this one-on-one contest.
Oh, God!
Did you hear that chop? European uppercut from Jordan Whittaker.
I'm pretty sure Jordan's American. Oh, my God!
Pops him up in a powerbomb position. Hurricane Rana from Brett sending Jordan Whittaker into the middle rope. Once again.
Oh, no! Oh, no, Brett Taylor!
Brett Taylor fighting his way out of that powerbomb position and drop kicked out of that springboard crossbody. Both men are down. This could be a double countout.
My one question I gotta ask you, Jordan Whittaker went for a drop kick. He went for a move using that injured leg. Do you think that might have backfired against him?
It could have taken more out of him than he intended, as you see him barely be able to crawl to get to the pin. Kick out from Brett Taylor.
I think that count by a referee, much like Jordan Whittaker, might have just been a little bit slow.
Oh, come on. Come on. The man's limping. The man is feeling it. He's in pain. He's going for the spear and he can't.
Oh, poor Jordan Whittaker. Boo.
Brett Taylor taking advantage. And just as we theorized earlier, they took the spear out of the equation. Brett Taylor able to work over that leg and add as much punishment as he wants. Gorilla press.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
What has he got in mind? One, two, three. Jordan Whittaker able to spear Brett Taylor out of that military press.
Jordan Whittaker.
No credit taken away from Brett Taylor. I have to appreciate the strategy, but the strength of Jordan Whittaker was just too much for him.
Brett Taylor very underhandedly was chopping away at those legs of Jordan Whittaker. And ladies and gentlemen, that's not all we have for you in store tonight. Main event, Dakota France versus Vanderpool. CCW's in-ring contract on the line. Can Dakota France hold up his end of the bargain? This is Hysteria.
Need high-quality pro wrestling gear at a great price? Look no further than Power Trip Pro Wrestling Gear. Each piece is handcrafted with the greatest care and quality possible. They even do a lot of gear seen on WWA Hysteria. For quotes, examples of work, and more, head over to facebook.com/PowerTripBWGear.
Ladies and gentlemen, making his way to the ring, being accompanied to ringside by the Sergeant at Arms 747 and the Vice President of World Wrestling Alliance, Colonel Harper, weighing in at 245 pounds. He is the Hand of the King, the Platinum Standard, Nick Depp.
We're back on WWA Hysteria. You can see the self-proclaimed Platinum Standard, Nick Depp, on his way to the ring for a one-on-one contest against the rightful WWA champion, Josiah, being flanked by 747. He's back from earlier. And my commentary partner, the Vice President of the World Wrestling Alliance down there on crutches, Colonel Harper. And since he's down there, I have a new commentary partner for this match. Ladies and gentlemen, Zachary Westinghouse has joined me in the booth.
I was wondering how long it would take you to get to my introduction, which you got better than last time, but I am the premier manager in professional wrestling today, so let's make that perfectly clear.
I can already tell this is going to be fun.
Being accompanied to ringside by the Queen, weighing in at 177 pounds. He is the WWA champion. Bow down to the devil himself, Josiah!
Josiah, the rightful WWA champion, after winning it from the president of the World Wrestling Alliance, Vanderpool, earlier on at Independence Day. He was facing off with the #1 contender for the championship, Alexander Knight, who destroyed him with a chair and took off with the WWA championship. Since then, Josiah has been on a quest to get that WWA championship back in his arms physically, as he is the current rightful WWA champion.
Well, I tell you, last time I saw someone that looked like Josiah, I had to pay admission to get into the county fair.
Josiah going one-on-one tonight with Nick Depp. Nick Depp probably not at 100%. We saw him take several brutal moves in that one-on-one contest on the last Hysteria as the fans bring the weapons match against Ray Waddell, in which Nick Depp was not victorious. He had his head wrapped with a chair and then ate a rolling elbow for his troubles, amongst other punishment that happened in that match. And it looks like Josiah is not taking Nick Depp seriously, and I usually like Josiah, but I do have to say that that may not be a smart move on the devil himself.
You know, Nick Depp is beaten and battered, like you said, yet here he is, still in the middle of the ring, ready to fight, and where's Josiah off on the sidelines, cowering like the chicken he is.
Nick Depp on the top rope, trying to get the fans behind him here, but it's not really happening, and he's brought Colonel Harper with him. I don't know how effective Colonel Harper can be. He's on crutches and in a neck brace, but between you and me, I think he might be fibbing a little.
Oh, I don't think so. You know, Colonel Harper, he runs a different managerial company than I do, but he does a decent job. But I have to say, I'm looking at him, and he looks like he's in rough shape. He's got the neck brace. He's got the crutches. He's got the limp. He's got a mask on. This man is clearly in need of assistance, and yet he still comes out here to help support his clients.
He's got a tie on outside of the neck brace. That would be killing him if it was like a legit injury under there.
Are you a doctor, Drake?
No, but I'm married to a nurse.
Okay, well, that's all I need to know. You're not a doctor. Thank you. Therefore, your medical opinion does not matter.
Josiah and Nick Depp with a lockup. And Nick Depp taking the arm of Josiah immediately and raking it across his own shoulder. Really going to town on that elbow joint. And backing Josiah into the corner and talking some smack. This is a focused, frustrated, furious Nick Depp.
You can tell Nick Depp has a lot to prove here tonight. Nick Depp, the intensity, I haven't seen Nick Depp this intense in several weeks. personally, even if I am Josiah, I'm feeling a little nervous right now.
I watched the so-called Platinum Standard, Nick Depp, as many of you did, antagonize Josiah for the better part of 2020, culminating in a brutal barbed wire massacre match for the WWA Champion. Oh, come on. For the WWA Championship. These two tore each other apart, so I'm sure there's no love lost here tonight between the two of them.
You see Nick Depp taking a little bit of a victory lap. Now, I'm not opposed to taking a victory lap, but when you've got a man like Josiah in the ring, you've got to be careful, you've got to be cautious. You have to be aware that someone like Josiah can mess you up real quick, and when we're out here taking victory laps, we're exposing our backside.
You know, I hate to agree with you, but I kind of do when you make that point. Nick Depp is known to celebrate prematurely. He lets that get in his head, it gets the better of him, and it usually leads to his downfall. And tonight he's facing Josiah, who's pretty fresh. Hard strike from Nick Depp.
You know, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that was the second or third collar and elbow tie-up that Nick Depp ended up getting the advantage out of.
Yeah, and Josiah is a brawler. We always talk about how he knows how to use every part of that ring as a weapon, but we often forget that his fists are just as much of weapons. Those hard stomps in the corner, and Josiah's feeling it.
But you know, even with as vicious of a beating as Josiah just laid down on Nick Depp, if anyone in this company was capable of taking a beating like that, it is Nick Depp.
Nick Depp also has that outside interference X factor. He has Colonel Harper, he has 747. They're not above interfering on his behalf, whereas the Queen usually likes to let Josiah do things the honorable way and only step in if she has to. Irish whip out of the corner, reversed. Big clothesline from the devil himself. Nick Depp is staggered and he's in position. What is Josiah thinking of here? Imploding cannonball in the corner, and Nick Depp's holding that head. Josiah maybe not in the right headspace as he has to worry about that WWA Championship and how to get it back from Alexander Knight, since he is the rightful WWA champion, but it seems like he's doing pretty good in there.
Well, let's just face it. I know you've got a job to do, but he's not the rightful champion. We know that, I know that. Colonel Harper knows that.
The Queen just slapped Colonel Harper at ringside. And now 747's going after the Queen. Josiah's trying to get her out of there. On the last episode of Hysteria, the Trendkillers were about to hit the damage plan on the Queen, and Josiah sacrificed himself.
Personally, I think the Queen should be thrown out. This is a disgrace. And if I were Colonel Harper, I would certainly be ready to sue.
Standoff in the ring between Nick Depp and Josiah. Hard strikes going back and forth. Colonel Harper struggling back to his feet. The Queen getting away from 747 and Colonel Harper clearing some space. And it's a battle of strikes. Oh, Nick Depp just threw Josiah face first into that middle rope. Very unique move from the Platinum Standard. That could have knocked Josiah out. He's on the outside, and he's asking the referee to count him out.
You know, everyone gives Nick Depp a lot of crap about his weight, and I'll be the first to admit, sure, Nick Depp is not the most in shape looking person in the world, but with all that weight comes a whole lot of power, and it takes a lot of power to throw a man like Josiah out of the ring as easily as Nick Depp just did.
Referee's up to a 6 count as Josiah struggles, gets back up on the apron and gets in the ring, but at what cost? Nick Depp still raining down punishment. Folks, later on tonight, it is a tag team championship match. Pretty Powerful is going to be going 2-on-2, defending those WWA championships against the 3 Count Boyz, and I'm going to assume you're going to be out there with them.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you their manager? No, you're not. So I'll take over telling the fans at home about this match. You see, we will be putting our tag team titles on the line against the 3 Count Boyz. They don't stand a chance. They've never stood a chance. But hey, we're a charitable tag team. Sometimes you got to throw the little guys a bone once in a while.
One kick out from Josiah. Yeah, that match is coming up later on tonight for the WWA Tag Team Championships. Nick Depp lining up. Huge knee strike onto Josiah, and he grabs the face and drives him face first into the mat. One, kick out.
You know, that one might have
Josiah.
actually knocked a little bit of sense into Josiah. That was a pretty hard impact.
Oh, come on. Josiah has a lot of sense, and he also has a lot of heart. We've seen him survive wars here in the WWA. Absolutely brutal battles. And Nick Depp is bringing one of those brutal battles to him right now. Two, kick out by
You can
Josiah.
have all the heart in the world, but at the end of the day, Josiah doesn't have championship gold.
Nick Depp trying to get the fans here in the Evansville Coliseum behind him. It's not quite working. Look at that. Huge boot from Nick Depp. Josiah had just gotten back to his feet, but it wasn't enough. And the Platinum Standard booting Josiah directly in the face.
Here you can see Nick Depp starting to get a little frustrated, and that's when he really is at his most dangerous. When he starts thinking, when he starts grinding those mental gears, bad things tend to happen, as Josiah just found out.
Yeah, he went for that bulldog, and he is able to catch just enough of the back of Josiah's head, and Josiah's had enough punishment inflicted with him that he was able to knock him off that base. Fist drop by Nick Depp in the Evansville Coliseum. 1, 2, kick out by Josiah.
You know, Colonel Harper, myself, 747, we all thought that was a 3 count. I think majority should rule. Unfortunately, that is not the case.
Oh, come on. It is down to the referee's discretion, and I think he's doing a bang-up job in there. And Nick Depp puts the strap back up, and he's bringing it back down. Another fist drop from the skies. 1, 2, kick out.
At this point, if I'm Josiah, I realize victory is all but gone. There is no hope, so I'm just going to lay down and accept the 3 count, accept my fate, and head back to the house before I get any more injured than I already am.
Well, Nick Depp adding more of that injury you just talked about. He is raining down strikes on Josiah. Oh, and he's spitting Josiah's face, adding insult to that injury.
Well, Josiah might be a little bit hot out there, getting a little sweaty. Nick Depp's just trying to cool him off a little.
I don't know about that.
Nick Depp going up top once again.
Yeah, he's on that middle rope, could be going for another fist drop, and he's had, look at this. He's getting Colonel Harper up on the apron. Yeah, Colonel Harper really needs those crutches. Oh, and it's turned around on Nick Depp. Josiah's able to get the boot up. And Josiah's feeling it, the rightful WWA champion. Wait, fireman's carry. Neck breaker by Nick Depp puts him right back down. 1, 2, kick out by Josiah.
But you see, just as Josiah's starting to get ahead, Nick Depp 2 steps ahead, no 3 steps ahead, always knows what's coming up next.
More strikes from Nick Depp, and he's using that piece of clothing that fell off of Josiah to blind Josiah and add more punishment.
No, I'm not gonna lie, I've been very impressed by Nick Depp for quite a while. And part of the reason I came out here tonight, other than to grace you and the fans with my presence,
yeah, I was wondering why you came
do a
out
little bit of
here.
scouting. You see, when you're managing the top tag team in the WWA, which I am,
half crab,
you have to always be on top of your game. You have to always know what's coming, who's coming up next, and this is a prime example of that. I respect 747. I respect Nick Depp. But at the same time, if I ever have to face him, I'm not going to show him any mercy.
Oh! Half Boston Crab turned around by Josiah, sending Nick Depp across the ring. Josiah was able to power out of it. Look at this, Nick Depp struggling to his feet in the corner. Oh, hard drop kick to the face. What height from Nick Depp. 1, 2.
I didn't know Nick Depp could jump that high.
Nick Depp, formerly a high flyer, came into this company as one of the premier high flyers and has added some strength and some power to his repertoire, but can still take to the skies when he wants to. Now, speaking of that high flying, he just said, I'm going up. And it looks like he's positioning Josiah for a big move.
Now, it does take time to get to the top of these ropes, so whenever you're attempting a move like this, it's always smart to make sure your opponent truly is down and out.
Nick Depp up top. He's bringing the strap down again. He's going for that fist drop off the very top. There it is. 1, 2, and Josiah kicks out of it. Nick Depp calling himself the champion. The WWA Championship not on the line in this one-on-one contest.
Lucky for Josiah, huh?
Well, even so, the physical WWA Championship is still with Alexander Knight after he stole it, although Josiah is the rightful champion.
You know, I represent 2 champions, not just one, and they've never lost their belts. They've never misplaced them. They've never lost them. You know why? Because they are responsible.
Oh, low kick from Josiah and a kick to the face of Nick Depp. Hard elbow strike. Off the ropes, Nick Depp follows him in with a hard elbow strike.
Nick Depp proving once again to be 2 steps ahead of Josiah in this contest.
Irish whip reversed. Clothesline, no, Nick Depp ducks. Livermore lariat attempted by Nick Depp. Both of them going for clotheslines now. Who's gonna go down? Hard headbutt from Nick Depp does the trick. Off the ropes. Deep 6 from Josiah. 1, 2. Kick out.
Watching Nick Depp fight for this victory is truly inspirational. To watch a man who's been through as much as Nick Depp.
Truly inspirational. He's trying to find a shortcut every way he can.
When you go on a road trip, Drake Jackson, do you not try to find shortcuts? Do you not try to get there as quickly and efficiently as possible? Now that was an illegal maneuver if I ever saw it.
Good Lord, 1, 2. Kick out from Nick Depp after that nasty curb stomp from Josiah.
Just because Josiah has serious head injuries doesn't mean Nick Depp should have them too.
Look at this. Nick Depp's flipping off Josiah. Low kick from Josiah. And another big curb stomp from the WWA champion. 1, 2. Oh, and a kick out from Nick Depp. After 2 curb stomps, Nick Depp still in this thing.
What a brave, brave man. Taking all this punishment and just throwing it right back in Josiah's face.
I mean, I might not like Nick Depp, but the man just kicked out of 2 curb stomps in a row. Really showing some strength. And Josiah's lining up for a 3rd one. No, Nick Depp out of the way. Drop kick to the back of the knee. Takes down Josiah. He's going back to that punishment of the leg, figure 4 from the Platinum Standard. Is Josiah going to tap out here? He's in the middle of the ring. He's going to need to get to the ropes or he's going to need to roll over to reverse the pressure of the figure 4.
Excellent strategy on behalf of Nick Depp. Got him right in the middle, as you just mentioned. He is miles away from any ropes.
2.
And if he wants a break, he's going to end up getting pinned, as you just saw.
Well, not only does Josiah have to focus on not tapping out, he's got to worry about a pin situation here. He's got to keep his shoulders off the mat or else the Platinum Standard's going to walk away with the victory. And the figure 4's reversed. Nick Depp's gonna have to get to the rope if he wants this broken. No, rolled back over to the figure 4 and the pressure's back on. 1. Josiah able to get that shoulder up.
How embarrassing would it be for Josiah to lose right here?
Well, you can't take anything away from either of these men in this brutal one-on-one contest. Josiah's able to get his shoulders up again, but you can see Nick Depp torquing that figure 4. 1, no. Josiah needs to get to a rope. Referee Devin Pointer checking, and there's the rope break. Up to a 4. Nick Depp has to break the hold because it's not going to look good for him to get disqualified against the WWA champion. You would think a victory here could put him in serious title contention. Uh-oh. Nick's calling for the figure 4 one more time, and he's got that knee pad pulled down on Josiah. 1, 2. Inside cradle doesn't work for Josiah. Livermore lariat. 1, 2. Kick out by Josiah. Nick Depp can't believe it after that hard lariat, planning Josiah after those 2 figure 4s.
Josiah starting to hold that leg a little more often. You can't help but think if this is a part of Nick Depp's strategy.
And you would think he might have had the momentum on that inside cradle if he wasn't favoring his legs. This match could have been over if it wasn't for that. But Nick lining up for the Nick kick.
And did you see the hobble?
No!
Depp was about to pick him up.
Josiah catches the foot, rolls him back. The Nick kick's unsuccessful. Slash in the cutthroat. Headlock driver misses by Nick Depp, and Nick Depp's up against the ropes. Both of these men are drained. What's Nick gonna do here?
Nick Depp says he has a plan.
Cutthroat from Nick Depp. What's he doing? Uh-oh, Nick Depp's going for the headlock driver on Josiah. No! Wait a minute, Josiah's turning it around on Nick Depp. Nick kick from Josiah sends him off the ropes. Headlock driver.
Gimmick infringement of 5.
1, 2, 3.
The winner, Josiah.
WWA champion Josiah walking out of here with a victory against Nick Depp. Josiah with a huge victory. He still needs to try to get that WWA championship back from Alexander Knight physically. Alexander Knight's running around here with the WWA championship unrightfully. But Josiah is walking away with the victory. You can see 747 and Colonel Harper in the ring. They're in the ring trying to get Nick Depp.
Cut that crappy music.
Oh, he has something to say, of course.
Now, thank you. I asked for this time to announce something, but the first thing I want to do is make this perfectly clear that I did not lose that match just now. He used the Nick kick on Nick. That's against the rules. So, therefore, I am the winner. Da 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 da. Platinum Standard Nick Depp. Anyway, what I was saying, the tag team tournament, 747. Next show. I just want everybody to know out here and in the back that 747 and Nick Depp are officially entering that tournament. Whoa. And you're looking at your next WWA Tag Team Champions. Because just like we took over this company, we're gonna take over the tag team division. We're gonna squash them and grind them. And then I'm gonna get the pin. And then we're gonna be champions. Platinum Standard.
Well, Nick Depp and 747 are announcing that they're entering that tag team tournament. in Eddyville at the next WWA show for the Tag Team Championships. Your boys are going to be in that, right? Pretty powerful?
They certainly will, and as much as I like and respect Nick Depp, he said some pretty foolish things there. But regardless, it is undeniable that him and 747 will make quite the admirable competition nonetheless. So I look forward to Eddyville. May the best men win.
Well, speaking of pretty powerful in the WWA Tag Team Championships, coming up, they have a match against the 3 Count Boyz. The 3 Count Boyz. It is the last chance for the 3 Count Boyz to face pretty powerful for the WWA Tag Team Championships. Please stick around. This is Hysteria.
Did you know that you miss over half the WWA's exciting action by just watching online? Check out the World Wrestling Alliance when they come near you. Event info and ticket prices can be found on Facebook.com/WWAISNOW.
If you are looking for the hottest WWA entrance music, be on the lookout for Hysteria Through the Curtain. Volumes 1 and 2 are packed with your favorite WWA themes, including Tyler Hawkins, Jordan Whittaker, 747, Alexander Knight, Ray Waddell, and more. You can find it now on Spotify, Apple Music, and YouTube. Just search for World Wrestling Alliance.
Do not adjust your screens. Tony Evans back in the World Wrestling Alliance, and Mickey Midas also here. And they're scheduled to go one-on-one in this contest.
You know, what's the whole point of checking for weapons? There's not much place to hide a weapon.
Look at this, Mickey Midas.
You know, Mickey Midas has been a little bit on the cockier side as of recent. Getting a little arrogant in his most recent matchups. However, I don't think he realizes how dangerous his opponent is in the ring. Even though Mickey Midas and Tony Evans they've both been in the same ring before. Well, Mickey Midas can't forget that Tony Evans is a former 2-time WWA champion. He's a former national champion. He's held every belt in this company except for the tag team championships, unless I'm incorrect.
He even held the WWA Hardcore Championship, and he was the one that retired it, throwing it in a trash can, excuse me. And you mentioned the so-called arrogance of Mickey Midas, but if anybody knows anything about arrogance in that ring, it is Superior Tony Evans. I mean, he calls himself Superior. He says he's bigger than your boyfriend and prettier than your girlfriend.
Yes, he is prettier than my boyfriend and bigger than... Wait, sorry. Oh, never mind. Forget what I said. What he is he is a very intelligent competitor. Everything that Mickey Midas is going to try to hit him with, all the high-flying nonsense, Tony Evans is going to have a unique and an accurate reversal for him.
Well, there is a reason that he is a 2-time WWA champion. We've seen him go to war with many people on the roster, including but not limited to CCW superstar Ray Waddell, Dakota France, and more. Been out honing his craft across the entire Midwest independent scene, including the World Wrestling Alliance here tonight.
I got to tell you, my first night that I was on commentary, you know, back whenever your life got significantly better, was the war here in Evansville. Oh. And that was the first time that I ever saw Tony Evans fight. And Tony Evans impressed the hell out of me. He made it to the Final Four of that. And I got to be honest, even though he didn't walk away with the WWA Championship again, I think that if he impresses me and he earns himself a contract, it might be something that's not too far off in the future.
That was the last time we saw him in a World Wrestling Alliance ring. And you would think that if he was able to win the World Wrestling Alliance Championship in that match, then he would still be around today. But nonetheless, he's here to show why he calls himself Superior. No love lost with these fans, and Tony Evans, as Tony Evans hits the ropes, leapfrog by Mickey Midas. clothesline. Off the ropes goes Mickey Midas into a crossbody, but Tony Evans caught him.
Oh my God. Oh my God, up into the suplex position.
Look at that power, but knees from Mickey Midas. Off the ropes again. Oh, power slam by Tony Evans. And he sends him to the outside.
Now this is where Mickey is going to be the most dangerous, and I think Tony Evans knows that. He's trying to get a little bit of distance.
Off the ropes, through the ropes, and on to Superior Tony Evans, catching him off guard. Mickey Midas with a huge suicide dive.
Oh no, he might be going for that.
Lining up for it.
Might be going for that moonsault again.
Sit out moonsault right onto Tony Evans. And he caught him just enough to knock him off his feet and send him crashing to the Evansville Coliseum floor.
You know, he knocked him enough to get the advantage, but he might not have knocked him enough to completely knock Tony Evans out.
Hard chop.
Mickey Midas might be regretting later, but that chop sure did the trick.
Mickey Midas is calling for one more.
One more time. What's wrong with these sadistic fans?
Mickey Midas throwing Tony Evans into the ring and showing off there on the apron.
Oh my goodness.
Aided senton. 1, 2. Just a 2 count from the former WWA Tag Team Champion, Mickey Midas.
Yeah, you can do all your flips, you can do all your fancy stuff all you want, but there's not much of it that you can do against a hard elbow like that.
Tony Evans trying to inflict more and more punishment on Mickey Midas. He's wanting to keep Mickey Midas grounded.
And honestly, that's the best call. Everything that I've seen out of Mickey Midas, all of his best offense, he has to jump off the ropes. He has to jump off the turnbuckle. And you know what? If you can keep him on the ground, he can't do anything like that. He has no ground game.
Tony Evans, surprisingly, also not a stranger to the air, as he does that coast to coast. Really pulls it out of nowhere. Always impressive every time. I may not like Tony Evans, but I can't deny that this man has future star written all over him.
You know, he's fast, he's strong, he's agile, he's intelligent. You know what I think that makes him?
What's that?
Superior.
Well, a hard back elbow to Mickey Midas, firmly planting Mickey Midas on the canvas. You would think that pin might have worked better if Tony Evans didn't go for that arrogant pin with just 1 foot on his chest.
Yeah, but I have a theory about it. I think he knocked him down. Oh my goodness.
Mickey Midas almost thrown out.
Mickey Midas is going to be
in the front row.
Pain to replace our barricade. Oh, look at this. I knew I liked this man.
Referee trying to administer a 10 count.
The slowest 10 count I've ever seen in my life.
And he's back in the ring, avoiding a count out for now against Superior Tony Evans.
Not much you can do against a jawbreaker like that.
Oh no, another forearm from Mickey Midas, showing that he does have a formidable strike game, but a European uppercut by Tony Evans knocking Mickey Midas off of his balance, and a 2 count.
You know, and that's something that I like about Tony Evans. You know, he had to deal with the kick out, but he didn't act shocked. He didn't go argue with the referee. He just immediately went back to work against Mickey Midas. When your opponent is on the ground, you take advantage of it. Although I don't know if I'd be wasting time to yell at the fans for it.
Tony Evans bringing Mickey Midas to his feet. Hard right hand by Tony Evans. And into the ropes, Mickey Midas with a back elbow onto Tony Evans. Hard boot to Tony Evans' face. Off the middle rope. Hurricane Rana sends Tony Evans down, Clothesline caught by Mickey Midas into a short arm clothesline, and both men are down.
And that was a hell of a clothesline from Mickey Midas, who doesn't have a whole lot of upper body strength behind him. I'm kind of shocked that he managed to make the impact that he did.
Referee starting to administer a 10 count while both men are laid down on the mat. Up to a 4 count. And they're both up. Clothesline from Mickey Midas. Another one.
Oh my God.
Side effect by Midas. 1, 2, and a kick out.
That is one of the problems with being a lighter competitor, is it's easier to kick out of your pinfalls. Uh-oh.
Kick blocked by Tony Evans. Backflip out of it by Mickey Midas. Hard enziguri.
Not enough to take down Tony Evans, though. Although this might be...
Oh! Half and half suplex. Low by Mickey Midas, sending Tony Evans into that position for a Shining Wizard. 1, 2, kick out.
What do you think Mickey is going for next to try to keep Tony Evans down?
Well, it looks like Mickey Midas is going to be going for that top rope. Something out of that bag of tricks that he's well known for. But he's got to beat down Tony Evans enough to where Tony Evans won't struggle back to his feet and cut him off like that just happened. More strikes from superior Tony Evans, draping Mickey Midas onto the apron. Uh-oh. Oh, no. What's Tony Evans looking at?
Oh, no, not to the floor.
No way.
Not to the hardwood
floor. Is he
flooring.
trying for a superplex onto the floor from the top? I saw him look down at that floor. Both men in a precarious position. Tony Evans falls onto the apron. Wait a sec, running drop kick.
God.
And Mickey Midas might be out on his feet.
Mickey Midas is lucky he didn't drop to the floor and hurt his head himself.
Well, Tony Evans now back up. What is he trying for here now? He's bringing Mickey Midas up.
Oh my God.
No way.
This could be a career-ending move if he hits a suplex.
No way. Both men not in a very good position. Mickey Midas drops back to the apron. Mickey Midas now on the inside of the ring, and he's trying to catch Tony Evans' leg. Tony Evans teetering.
I'm surprised neither of these men have fallen off just from the shots they've taken.
Yeah, both men fighting up to the top. Wait a sec.
Oh my God,
Tony
he landed
Evans,
on his feet.
Yeah, Tony Evans tried to shove Mickey Midas off the top rope, but Mickey Midas lands on his feet and chops Tony Evans hard.
Oh no, no.
Oh no.
No, not a Spanish fly.
Spanish fly off the top. And both men are down.
Yeah, I was about to say, look at Mickey Midas holding his head. He came down right on the top of his head. He might have knocked himself out.
Not a smart move for Mickey Midas, but it might be enough to put away Tony Evans.
Somehow bell rattled and everything. He gets to the pinfall.
2, kick out from Tony Evans.
And listen, I love Tony Evans, but I think all of that comes to the damage that Mickey Midas did to himself. He couldn't get a good pinfall. He wasn't sure where he was. He might have rattled his brain a little bit.
Yeah, he does seem dazed.
There.
He does seem dazed, and it might not be the smartest move for him to go to the top rope right now with his equilibrium thrown off, but nonetheless, he's lining up for something onto Tony Evans. No! Tony Evans moves out of the way of the 450. Mickey Midas able to catch himself on his feet.
Oh my
Hard
God.
clothesline, knocking Mickey Midas out of his boots.
I'd have knocked him in a 450 in the other direction. I don't know angles or numbers or anything, but still, he turned him inside out.
Tony Evans plants Mickey Midas, and look at this. He's got him set. Elliptical. 1, 2, 3. Tony Evans picks up the victory.
The winner of this contest, Superior Tony Evans.
Tony Evans picking up the victory here in the World Wrestling Alliance, showing the fans that he has not missed a step in his time away and has even improved. You can't take anything away from Mickey Midas in this matchup. He pulled out all the stops, but it was not enough to put away superior Tony Evans, and it looks like Tony Evans has something to say.
Get him out of my ring. Now. Now! Shut up! Drink these cheers in. This is the last time you're relevant. Now back to me. I left this company 2.5 years ago. I packed my bag and I left. I left because something I had was taken from me. I am a two-time WWA champion. And better not a damn one of you forgot it. I'm a two-time champion, and that was taken from me, and it eats me alive to this day. I left. I made my mark in other companies. I went to different states. I whooped asses all across this country. But I'm back here right now today to tell you I've got unfinished business. I know you're watching back there. You know who you are. I've got a score to settle with you. You beat me, and it eats me alive, and I'm not done. Hell with it, let's just say it. Ray Waddell! Get your ass out here right now!
Oh!
It is about damn time somebody sticks it to Ray Waddell.
Wow! Calling out Ray Waddell. Ray had a hellish match earlier.
Come on, Ray, I ain't gonna wait all night.
Against Alexander Knight, coming up on the losing end, just short. But Ray Waddell is the man that beat Tony Evans for that title.
He gets beat tonight, and he's not gonna come out here and face a winner. I just won the match, idiot. What are you watching? So Ray, if you're not gonna come out here to me and face me like a man, you stay back there. You stay back there week after week. Don't come back out here at all. You stay back there and hide like a bitch.
Well, he's calling out Ray Waddell, and who knows what that means for the future here in the World Wrestling Alliance. Coming up next, tag titles are on the line, Pretty Powerful faces the 3 Count Boyz. It's the 3 Count Boyz' last chance to win the WWA Tag Team titles as long as Pretty Powerful hold them. This is Hysteria.
Hello! Hey folks, I'm WWE Hall of Famer Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and you're watching WWA Hysteria. Tough guy, ho!
Is this thing on? Hear me?
God, I wish it wasn't. I wish it wasn't.
Clearly it's still not working, because if it were, I know you would be sitting down with your mouths closed and your ears open, waiting for what I have to say. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor at this time to present to you the reigning, the defending WWA Tag Team Champions. They are Jake Bravado and Tyler Hawkins. They are Pretty Powerful.
Well, here they come. The WWA Tag Team Champions, as Zachary Westinghouse just so eloquently put it. Pretty Powerful. And they're going to be defending their WWA Tag Team Championships tonight. And not only tonight, but at the next Eddyville show, those Tag Team Championships are on the line in a championship chase tag team tournament. We don't know all of the teams in that tournament right now, but confirmed are Pretty Powerful. As we heard earlier tonight, Nick Depp and 747. And a few others, but I haven't been told any specifics.
And listen, we've addressed it already, but this is the last chance for the 3 Count Boyz against Pretty Powerful for the Tag Team Championships. We have had far too many rematches as of recent. There are far too many teams that are in line for a championship opportunity. I don't think those boys should have any more opportunities than they've already had handed to them. I mean, how many times does Jake Bravado and Tyler Hawkins need to wipe the floor with the 3 Count Boys before enough is enough?
Well, Tyler Hawkins and Jake Bravado proving to be dominant as the WWA Tag Team Championships, but through pretty underhanded tactics. Zachary Westinghouse interfering on their behalf, getting by the skin of their teeth.
God, do I wish this song wasn't good. It is a bop.
Well, there they are. The 3 Count Boys, Munchie and MK Swift. MK Swift, a new face to the World Wrestling Alliance, and has been showing such heart, such skill, such passion in those ropes. Being mentored by Munchie, who himself is technically somewhat of a newcomer to the World Wrestling Alliance. He's been here a couple years, had an excursion away, but he's back here in the World Wrestling Alliance, and after struggling to find a solid tag team partner, has gotten MK Swift, who started out being abused in your little group.
That is right. Munchie and MK Swift, I believe, dressed in their best Newport Cigarettes outfit. That was a good one. Listen, you gotta give me credit where credit's due.
Well, the fans love the 3 Count Boys, even though you don't seem to. They 100% get behind these two in every match.
They just are marks for saxophones. They don't actually like them that much.
The following special attraction is scheduled for 1 fall, and it is a last chance WWA Tag Team Championship match. What this means is that if the 3 Count Boys do not walk away from Evansville with the tag team titles, they can no longer ever challenge Pretty Powerful for the tag team titles. However, if the 3 Count Boys do walk out of Evansville with the tag team titles, Pretty Powerful can never challenge them for the tag team titles. Folks, all the marbles are on the line here tonight. Introducing first the challengers, the team of MK Swift and Munchie. They are the 3 Count Boys. And their opponents, they are accompanied to ringside by Mr. Zachary Westinghouse. They are the reigning, defending WWA Tag Team Champions. They are the team of Tyler Hawkins and the Essence of Excellence, Jake Bravado. They are Pretty Powerful.
Pretty Powerful looking to walk away from this one with the WWA Tag Team Championships. And let me remind the audience at home, it was announced earlier tonight during a break that the winners of that championship chase tournament for the WWA Tag Team Championships not only gets the WWA Tag Team Championships, but they earn the rights to face the Rock and Roll Express, Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson, in September on Hysteria. Rock and Roll forever here in the Evansville Coliseum. So next time you see a full episode of Hysteria pop up on YouTube, youtube.com/WWAISNOW, it will feature whoever the tag team champions are against the Rock and Roll Express.
You say whoever the tag team champions are, like it's not clearly going to be Pretty Powerful. I mean, I have never seen Tyler Hawkins team up with anybody nearly as dominant as Jake Bravado.
No.
They do not like those championships being shown to the 3 Count Boys. It's perfectly fine, guys. We all know who is leaving with those belts.
Well, this is the last chance, as we've been mentioning, for the 3 Count Boys to possibly walk out of here as WWA Tag Team Champions. As long as Pretty Powerful are still the champions, this is their last chance title shot.
Now here's the deal. We've seen Munchie countless times try to wrestle for the tag team championships. It does not matter who his partner is, he always comes up short. His partner right now is a rookie. It's MK Swift, and listen, I know how good MK Swift is. There's a reason why we picked him out of the list of trainees that we had at the time. He's an incredible high flyer. He's an incredible wrestler. He's an athletic specimen. However, he does not have the experience that some of Munchie's former partners have had. And we know that he is not going to be able to walk away as a champion tonight.
MK Swift starting things off against the powerhouse Jake Bravado.
MK Swift, younger brother of Taylor.
Oh, come on,
look at that pie face.
Look at this, MK Swift trying to focus in there against Jake Bravado, and he's going to need to if they're going to possibly walk away with the WWA Tag Team Championships.
Of course he's going to need to. Look at what he's in the ring against. Look at all that beef on Jake Bravado.
Now, the winner of this will still have to go through that WWA Tag Team Championship tournament in Eddyville. So it's going to be a big thing for whoever wins this. They're guaranteed to be in that tournament as the WWA Tag Team Champions, but they're going to have to defend it through that tournament.
You're exactly correct. While they may walk away still as champions tonight, I think they might be out of the frying pan and into the fire. I am saying that, of course, because MK Swift has zero chance of winning these tag team championships with Munchie. I just don't see the 3 Count Boyz pulling off this upset.
Well, did you see the agility from MK Swift? That's what he's known for.
Yeah, and did you see Jake Bravado immediately almost rip his head off with that headlock?
It's very interesting because we've got 4 different, really differently styled wrestlers in this match. You got Jake Bravado, who's known for his power. You've got MK Swift, who's known for that speed and agility. Tyler Hawkins, who's known for his mind games, and Munchie, who's known for his technical ability.
Listen, as much as I want to make fun of Munchie, and as much fun as I get at making out of... Oh, double elbow. What do you think they're thinking?
Oh, scoop slam.
This is totally unfair.
Swift as a weapon, 1.
That 2-on-1 beatdown should have never happened. The referee should have had better control of the match.
Munchie now the legal man in there with Jake Bravado. You can see Zachary Westinghouse already trying to interfere on behalf of Pretty Powerful, doing what he does best, I guess. And Tyler Hawkins with an arm wringer onto Munchie, into a headlock, wrestling circles around him.
Now here's the only thing, you can try all the technical stuff against Munchie, but he's actually a pretty damn good technical wrestler.
Waist lock applied by Munchie, goes behind Tyler Hawkins, and Tyler Hawkins able to get an elbow. O'Connor roll blocked, but he still trips up Tyler Hawkins. Face driven first into the mat, 1. And 1 count by Munchie. Tyler Hawkins able to kick out.
And I do want to point out, Munchie immediately went for that pin. They know that they have come up short the past few times against Pretty Powerful. But if Munchie wants to walk away as the victor of this match, he's going to have to go for those quick roll-ups. He's going to have to go for those quick pinfalls. The longer they stay in this match, I think the longer it goes towards Pretty Powerful.
Hard clothesline blocked. MK Swift able to turn around. I don't think Tyler Hawkins realized MK Swift was the legal man, and it nearly cost him.
You see that move? What is this, GCW?
And here comes MK Swift into the corner with a high knee onto the chin of Tyler Hawkins and a short arm clothesline.
He leapt to the top rope like it was nothing.
1. MK Swift is feeling it as he's now the legal man in this tag team contest.
Drake Jackson, truly it is a shame to me that this kid ever turned down the amazing opportunity of working with Vanderpool, because if he did stay with us, he would be a champion by now, and he would not be in a headlock at the realm of Tyler Hawkins.
Tyler Hawkins had that headlock applied for MK Swift, but MK Swift able to duck out and go behind, and a hard back elbow by Tyler Hawkins. Arm wringer turned around onto MK Swift.
I don't know if you know this, but Tyler Hawkins is actually a pretty damn good wrestler.
Oh!
What was that? What is with all the cartwheels tonight?
Look at that evasion from MK Swift, and just like that, he's back out of it. And a headlock applied by MK Swift.
Yeah, but if I was MK Swift, I don't know if I would keep going for headlocks and I would keep going for moves that could be powered out.
Oh, look at that! Jake Bravado tagging Tyler Hawkins' foot for the tag. Huge power slam by Jake Bravado. I don't think MK Swift knew Jake Bravado was the legal man. 2 count by Jake Bravado.
And that was brilliant by Pretty Powerful to go for the trip and then immediately go for the scoop slam. He didn't have enough time to try to reverse it.
Hard strikes raining down from Jake Bravado, former Golden Gloves boxer. A man known for his strikes and his suplexes. Just an absolutely brutal competitor as he gets MK Swift up and doesn't even go down with him, inflicting as much punishment on MK Swift as he can. One kick out. Hard forearm from MK Swift and a chop right across the face from MK Swift. More strikes. Off the ropes goes MK Swift.
Oh
and a
my
huge
God!
boot. Whoa! 1, 2.
Well, in case any of these fans wanted a souvenir, I think some in the front row might be walking away with MK Swift's teeth.
Somehow MK Swift able to kick out of that.
Good God almighty.
And a choke in the corner, showing that agility that people often underestimate Jake Bravado for. Tag made to Tyler Hawkins, and Tyler Hawkins choking MK Swift out behind the referee's back.
That's right.
Usual.
That's right. MK Swift tripping, I believe, and falling down to the bottom rope because nobody touched him illegally. Nope, there was a better way to say that.
Well, pretty powerful tagging in and out. Now shoulder thrust from Tyler Hawkins onto MK Swift, and they successfully have MK Swift isolated to their corner. Strategy on display by the WWA Tag Team Champions. Frequent tags between Jake Bravado and Tyler Hawkins to stay fresh.
Listen, when you have the intelligence of Zachary Westinghouse putting together a team with the experience of Tyler Hawkins and the athleticism and strength of Jake Bravado, do you think anybody could ever take those belts off of those men?
Tag made by Tyler Hawkins, and he's continuing those chokes on the bottom rope against Jake Bravado, or excuse me, with Jake Bravado against MK Swift. Oh, hard poke to the eyes by Tyler Hawkins. He was rearing back for a strike, it seemed.
After
He's
my
antagonizing Munchie.
That's right, ref. Get in the way of Munchie. Illegally trying to enter the ring.
Oh, pretty powerful. A double teaming MK Swift behind the referee's back.
What are you talking about? I didn't see anything.
That was strategy from Tyler Hawkins. That's what that was. He knew that he could goad Munchie into this ring, causing a distraction. MK Swift fighting back. Can he get the tag? No! Tyler Hawkins driving MK Swift into a neutral corner in this tag team contest. Knocking the wind out of MK Swift off the ropes. Bulldog from Tyler Hawkins. 1, 2, kick out.
Now listen, these teams have met multiple times in the ring previously. If you were a Westinghouse or somebody that's trying to manage pretty powerful, is there any advice you would try to give to this team to give them the advantage again over Munchie and MK Swift?
No, I'm not a manager. I wouldn't even know where to begin. Tag made.
Didn't you once manage Tyler? Whatever.
Nope. Off the ropes.
Sorry, I'm thinking of Russell Bucket. All right.
Oh my God! Good Lord! Double hip toss into double knees. 2. Kick out. Jake Bravado with a huge hip toss, teaming with Tyler Hawkins on MK Swift to drive their knees into MK Swift's back, continuing to drive that air out of him. We've seen a lot of shoulder thrusts in the corner, and MK Swift being dragged into the corner.
Yeah, I gotta be honest with you. I think their game plan for most of it, instead of going for the double team, I think they're trying to weaken MK Swift up so then Jake Bravado can hit MK Swift with the excellence of execution. Of course, his finisher that is named after the best Hart, Bruce Hart.
Oh! Snapmare into
Although
a
it might be
giant
over
knee
right
strike.
now.
2. Kick out. Jake Bravado going out onto the apron. Tyler Hawkins preventing MK Swift from getting a tag off.
Oh my God!
Enziguri by MK Swift. Both men need to make a tag to their respective partners to get someone fresh into this contest. Tyler Hawkins is back up and he pulls MK Swift away.
Tyler Hawkins has way too much experience for that. He knows how to cut the ring in half when he needs to.
Look at this. Headlock by Tyler Hawkins. MK Swift fighting out of it. He grabs that hand. Tyler Hawkins ducks the kick. Electric chair.
Oh no.
Hurricane Rana by MK Swift sends Tyler Hawkins into that middle rope.
Oh my God.
No! Tyler Hawkins able to move out of the way. The splash from MK Swift misses and he crashes into the turnbuckle, but turnabout's fair play, and the tag is made to Munchie.
And Munchie's running wild.
Double axe handles to the chest of Tyler Hawkins. Full Nelson sweeping the leg, and here comes Jake Bravado. Back elbow by Munchie.
Gringo cutter.
Munchie hitting that cutter onto Jake Bravado, and he needs to capitalize, but Jake Bravado's halfway out of the ring. Headlock applied by Munchie, and he stomps the toes of Jake Bravado. And there goes Jake Bravado out of the ring. Tyler Hawkins is in the ring. He attacks Munchie from behind. Munchie took his eyes off the prize. Tyler Hawkins is the legal man. 1, 2, wait. Oh!
1, 2, 3. No way! Oh my God! No!
Your winners and new WWA Tag Team Champions.
Oh my God!
3 Count Boyz.
What just happened?
MK Swift able to turn it around, knocking Tyler Hawkins off balance in that attempted block of the sunset flip and diving out onto Jake Bravado. And now the 3 Count Boyz are the WWA Tag Team Champions.
A theft has taken place tonight in Evansville, Indiana. I can't believe these 2 despicable men are currently our WWA Tag Team Champions.
The 3 Count Boyz are now the Tag Team Champions, and it looks like Pretty Powerful are not happy about losing the Tag Team Championships ahead of that big tournament.
Pretty Powerful seems to be pretty pissed off at the result of that, and you know what? I don't blame them. Oh my God, but Munchie is back in trying to get advantage of Jake Bravado, but it's a 2-on-1 beatdown. And MK Swift is right behind him.
Will we see this in that tag team tournament? Oh wait, the Trendkillers have hit the ring. They made their intentions known earlier tonight.
What?
Oh, and it's Lizzy, Sixx, and Nick Willis, another tag team here in the WWA.
Back from the homeless shelter, what's going on here?
Chaos, it's all breaking down. Here comes Nick Depp and 747. I would assume these are all going to be teams in the Tag Team Championship Chase tournament in Eddyville.
I can't even keep up with who's taking advantage of what.
My God, it's the People's Temple. The People's Temple are here.
It's Mercy and the Marauder. I can't keep track of who's hitting who. There's too much going on.
Look at this.
Jake Bravado is trying to leave with the WWA Tag Team Championship.
Jake Bravado's trying to leave, and Munchie. Chaos breaking down as every member of the tag teams.
What is this?
Fighting up
Mikey's joining. What is Mikey doing?
Mikey's here.
If Mikey's here. Who's selling the shirts?
Mikey got called out by the Trendkillers earlier, and Mikey's in there. Complete chaos. Look at this, they're all fighting. They're all fighting up the entryway.
Oh my God, look at this. Immovable object meets another immovable object.
Yeah, look at Mikey and 747 shoving each other in that ring.
I don't think we have enough room in this ring for both of these men.
Hard strikes between 747 and Mikey. Complete chaos here. The People's Temple still in the ring. My God, they're all
Oh my God, Drake Jackson.
Entryway.
What in the hell?
What's going on?
It's MK Swift. He's up in the
way. Oh my God! MK Swift off the balcony.
God is my witness. It's a massacre.
MK Swift dives onto everyone below and takes them all out. My goodness. What a dive! Everybody's down except the new WWA Tag Team Champions, the 3 Count Boyz.
Drake Jackson, somebody needs to get order around here. This is chaos. There is not enough. We need rules. We need security. We need something.
The 3 Count Boyz antagonizing the rest of the WWA Tag Team division. What a move from MK Swift. And the action doesn't stop there. Coming up next, the National Championship is on the line. Logan Legit puts the title on the line against Jones. This is Hysteria.
You're watching WWA Hysteria.
I am sorry, but I am sick and tired of this. What is all of this chaos? Somebody needs to have order around here. Since CCW has returned to the World Wrestling Alliance, it's been nothing but chaos. Every single show. What is going on anymore? Are you kidding me? Look at the state of our tag division. We have our so-called champion jumping from the heavens in the middle of what looks like a riot taking place. We have 2 men, both claiming to be the World Wrestling Alliance champion. One of them, a hillbilly zombie that I thought was supposed to be fired from here months ago. We have all of you animals that are cheering on everybody who stands in the way of myself, of Vanderpool, of 747, of Nick Depp. And as much as you guys want to cheer for me, you cheer for these people whose mother would throw you out if you sat in the wrong seat.
Oh, whoa, hang on.
I am sick of all of this and everything in my life. All of this chaos and this pain is a direct result of the Waddell family.
Whoa, hang on.
We have one Waddell son of a bitch who used to be the boss. We have one Waddell son of a bitch that claims to be the boss. And then we have one Waddell bitch that thinks that she is the boss.
Whoa, hang on. He's talking about Terry. He's talking about Chris and Ray's mom. No.
That's right, Mikey, cut her off.
No way.
No,
Terry's on her way. Terry's on her way over.
That's right. You better stay down there. Listen, I might be a character of class and chivalry, but do not get it twisted.
No
way. If you try to step to me, if you try to fight me...
Come on, you want to fight?
Yeah. Do I want to fight? If you try to step to me, I am going to do to this old woman what Governor Andrew Cuomo in New York did to all the old women there. If you try to step to me, you know what I'm going to do?
You gotta fight, buddy.
What?
What? No, wait, no, that wasn't an official sanction. Mickey, that wasn't official. Mickey, that wasn't official. No, it was not. I didn't. No.
When is this happening? What is it?
Hey, Colonel, I got some news for you. If Mama wants it official, by God, it's official.
No way! I guess we're gonna see a fight between Terry and Colonel Harper at some point. Crowd here chanting for Terry.
Dog will hunt.
Well, I'm receiving word that at our next show, Terry and Colonel Harper will be going one-on-one in an officially sanctioned contest.
What the hell just happened, Drake Jackson? She can't do...
You called out the mother of Chris and Ray Waddell, and now you have a match on the next episode of Hysteria.
What? I am going to be fighting Terry.
You are going to be fighting Terry one-on-one.
At Rock and Roll Forever?
At Rock and Roll Forever, one-on-one.
We can't do that. She's not an officially sanctioned wrestler. What?
I mean, I guess you're not either, so...
Oh my God.
See.
Oh, I forgot it's Indiana. There's no laws in Indiana, son of a bitch.
I mean, there are laws. You can't just do whatever you want up here, but as far as it pertains,
Drake Jackson, the only solace that I can find in life is if Jones just beats the living daylights out of the juiciest peach.
well, speaking of Jones, he's currently in the ring, and he has a national championship one-on-one match right now, finally, against Logan Legit. Him and the People's Temple have been stalking and destroying Logan Legit at every turn while targeting that WWA National Championship at the same time. And tonight, Jones gets his national championship shot. The People's Temple have been banned from ringside. Legit on his way to the ring, the WWA National Champion. An underdog champion, some would say, but he's been very impressive since winning the WWA National Championship. But tonight, he has a huge challenge in front of him as he fights the #1 contender, Jones, for the WWA National Championship. And Jones has made it known he's coming for that national championship ever since he won the #1 contendership in that Battle Royal earlier this year, subsequently turning his back on the WWA and the WWA's fans. And forming a group of his own followers. We saw them earlier tonight in that tag team brawl after the WWA Tag Team Championship match. They're not with him, as I have received word that the People's Temple have been banned from ringside.
I gotta be honest with you, Drake Jackson, I didn't catch much of what you just said. One, because of these fans going nuts for Logan Legit, and two, because I don't care what you think.
Evansville. The following contest at WWA Do or Die is scheduled for one fall, and it is for the WWA National Championship. On a sidebar, I am instructed to tell you that the People's Temple has been barred from ringside. Introducing first, the challenger. He weighed in earlier this afternoon at 215 pounds. He is the leader of the People's Temple, Jones. And his opponent weighed in earlier this afternoon at 145 pounds. He comes to us tonight all the way down south from Clearwater, Florida. He is the reigning, defending WWA National Champion, as well as the juiciest peach in the WWA, Logan Legit!
Logan Legit and Jones facing off in that ring.
Now let's just address this off the bat. Drake Jackson, I don't think my opinion on Logan Legit has ever been, well, I don't think it's ever been left up to your imagination. I think you know my feelings on Logan Legit. He calls himself the juiciest peach despite the fact that there is no peach there. He's unfortunately a formidable contender, and he's been a pretty damn good champion, as much as I hate him. However, he is in the ring with a Jones like we have never seen before. This is not the line dancing cowboy he is defending his championship against. This is the cult leader. This is the savage. This is the sadistic. This is the crazy and impossible to control Jones. I just don't see Logan walking away with the belt. Ever since Pride is the Devil, when Jones first turned on Logan Legit and introduced his dead president knockoff cult. All right, that's interesting.
Huh.
It's been a while since I've seen that. Anyways, since Jones first turned on Logan Legit back at WWA Hysteria Pride is the Devil, I mean, they've just been an uncontrollable force in this business. They've laid out some of the best of the best. They laid out Logan Legit himself. They laid out the 3 Count Boyz. I mean, hell, they laid out the one and only Drake Jackson. I mean, what's next? Wrestle Bucket? I mean, he doesn't have arms.
Well, Jones and Logan Legit stalking each other around this ring. And I think Logan Legit is ready to get this one underway, and Jones is trying to play some mind games here with the WWA National Champion.
I mean, if anybody is going to be successful with mind games, it has to be Jones. I mean, Jones has managed to get the People's Temple, Solomon, who is a Goliath of a monster, under his control. He's gotten the Marauder, a crazy man who should be locked in an insane asylum, who has one of the best ground games I've ever seen, on his side. He has Mercy, who I believe might be, I believe she's murdered some people in the past. I'm just going to be straightforward. He has her on his side. Even with them not here, Jones still has control over this crowd. He has control over everybody he is ever within the vicinity of. I just don't see this going Logan Legit's way. And it's not because I hate Logan. I do hate Logan, but I just don't see him leaving with it. I thought maybe I spoke too soon.
Well, the quickness from Logan Legit as Jones tried to jump in there with the attack. Logan Legit able to get out of the way, and then a hard chop onto Jones. Kicks to the midsection from the national champion.
Logan has faced the...
Chow!
Ow! That hurt. Oh, that hurt me. As we mentioned, Logan's life has been a living hell as a direct result of the People's Temple. I don't think he wants this contest to last long. I think he's just going to beat the daylights out of Jones if he gets the opportunity to.
Up and over. Hurricane Rana from the national champion. Jones is clear in the other corner.
It's interesting. Logan keeps trying to put this contest away early, and Jones, I think, is trying to make it last longer for his own advantage.
Well, Jones is trying to take a breather. Oh, and Logan Legit with a huge seated senton onto the floor. Taking out the leader of the People's Temple. Slap for good measure by the national champion. Logan Legit, a formidable opponent here for Jones. Look at this.
Oh my God.
Sunset bomb.
My God.
1, 2. Kick out by Jones.
I don't believe he had the best cover on that pin.
Well, that could have been one of the ways that Jones was able to kick out of that maneuver. Irish whip into the corner. Jones goes up and over. Backstabber.
God, that's a brutal backstabber.
Yeah, just like that, Logan Legit taken down. 1, 2. Kick out by Logan Legit. Oh! Trying to cave in that chest of the national champion with those stomps. Gripping those wrists.
And that's, again, brilliant offense from Jones, knowing that if he grabs the wrist and he starts laying in the stomps, Logan has no way to defend himself. Also knowing that most of Logan's best offense comes from like the sliced peach, and it comes from jumping off the top rope. And if you keep him grounded, you don't have to worry about it.
Kick combination by Jones, 1, 2. Now you gotta wonder how Jones is thinking, because here lately he's had the People's Temple flanking him every time he comes to the ring, but he does not have that tonight. It is down to a fair one-on-one contest against the national champion. Oh, hard uppercut.
You say that, but look at Jones. He doesn't seem like he's not arrogant. He doesn't seem like he's not in control. He hasn't lost his step. He didn't come out here scared because he doesn't have his minions behind him. He's still confident he's walking away with that belt tonight.
Oh, low strikes from Logan Legit and a kick from Jones.
Oh no.
Uh-oh. Oh, chop to the chest. Oh, and Jones does one for good measure, and a kick. Bicycle pump kick. 1, 2. Kick out by Logan Legit. Uh-oh.
You know, he might as well do that because this match seems to just be in Jones' favor. He can take it at whatever pace he wants. No matter what, he's walking away with the victory.
Uh-oh. Suplex by Jones in the middle of that ring, adding more punishment to Logan Legit. 1, 2, kick out.
What is Jones thinking now?
Well, now he's choking Logan Legit out on that middle rope, using every bit of that 5 count to his advantage. When we talk about the changes in Jones's demeanor, he would have never done that back in his line dancing cowboy days. Look at this. Jones has Logan Legit in the corner.
Oh! Listen, he might not be a line dancing cowboy anymore, but I think he's gonna leave Logan Legit with an achy breaky heart if he slaps his ribs into it.
Oh, good Lord. 1, 2. Kick out by Logan Legit. And Jones is pulling Logan Legit into position to apply that chin lock in the center of the ring. Logan Legit might have to tap out here.
What's interesting to me, Logan has every single person in attendance here at his disposal. He has every single person on his side, and it's not doing anything for him. Jones is still firmly in control. Drake Jackson, how is Logan Legit going to walk away as champion?
I don't know, but if anyone can, I bet it's Logan Legit. He has shown such heart and such determination since winning that WWA National Championship. Another kick from Jones. 1, 2. Logan Legit kicks out.
We talk about the WWA National Championship. Let's talk about Jones and his history with the WWA National Championship. He has had opportunity after opportunity after opportunity. He had a WWA National Championship match.
Oh,
Logan tried to move out of the way. Jones didn't get quite all of it.
2.
And I think that's the only thing that kept Logan Legit in this competition. My first night in this company, Jones had a match for the WWA National Championship, and he came up short against Logan Legit. I think he has failed too many times. I don't think he will let himself leave tonight without that WWA National Championship, even if it means murdering Logan Legit in the process.
Well, he's definitely draining the life out of Logan Legit in the middle of that ring right now with this front face lock applied. Logan Legit might be fading. If he passes out, it's goodbye to the national championship for him. Jones rolls him over onto his back after so much punishment in that front face lock.
Oh, and he misses the leg drop. Oh no, Logan Legit immediately goes to go up to the top rope.
Yeah, Logan Legit's gonna need to go up top and possibly hit some big move.
Oh my God, what is he thinking?
Molly go round. 1, 2. Kick out. And Logan Legit not able to pin Jones. National title is still on the line.
Both men struggling to get to their feet. You know, I thought this was going to be entirely one-sided for Jones, but you know what? I might have been wrong, Drake Jackson. Logan Legit seems to be getting some offense. He seems to be getting some power behind him. He might still have a chance to leave with this championship.
Oh, hip thrust. Another one, putting that full weight onto Jones in the corner at high speeds. Cartwheel, slap. And he's in position. It looks like Logan Legit may be calling for it.
And if you're Logan Legit, you have to go back to all that you know, smacking the sparkles on your ass.
He's calling for it. Could it be the Bronco Buster? Yeah.
I mean, he was doing... Oh my God, what do you think he's setting up now? He's not going to go for it again. He's not going to go for it again. Oh my God, he went for a drop kick instead against that bottom rope.
Yeah, hard drop kick on that bottom rope. Jones had nowhere to go in that situation. 1, 2. Kick out by Jones.
Jones able to kick out. Honestly, you got to be careful around those ropes, man. We all know, like Perry Maguire Jr. and incidents like that have happened in the past. You could snap your neck. You could injure yourself if you deliver a drop kick to somebody against it. Oh, and he's going for the sliced peach.
Oh, there it is, sliced peach. And wait a minute.
Oh, here comes Mercy and the Marauder.
Oh, the People's Temple's pulling referee Devin Pointer. They're banned from ringside. What's happening?
Banned from ringside? What are you going to do? They're out here right now. Who's going to fire them? Me? I don't think so.
Get them out of here, Devin. Oh, big dive from Logan Legit.
Who in the world would, what kind of man hits a woman, Logan?
Oh, and he throws the Marauder into the ring post.
Don't you do it.
Oh, he throws Mercy to ringside as well.
Not much mercy for Mercy.
Back in the ring.
Oh,
wait a minute. Murder go round. 1, 2, no.
My God, I thought we were going to have a new WWA National Champion.
I thought so too. It is not often we see anyone kick out of the murder go round. I can't believe it.
What is Jones going to have to do?
Jones is beside himself. He took out Logan Legit with the most dangerous move in his repertoire, and it wasn't enough. Logan Legit showing such heart and guts. Uh-oh.
Oh, no. What is Jones thinking?
He's lining Logan Legit up for it again, but Logan kicks the arm. Forearm from Logan Legit, forearm from Jones. A slap across the face, a slap across the chest. Low kick.
Stratisfaction.
Bulldog. 1, 2. Kick out by Jones.
What could Logan Legit possibly have left? I mean, he hit the sliced peach. He hit the stratisfaction. What other moves could he possibly still have in his repertoire?
Well, Logan Legit lining up for that sliced peach again. Wait a second.
But Mercy's coming in. What is the wild card going to do?
And that distracted both Logan referee Davenport. Jeez!
Logan
Huge
Legit.
kendo stick to the back of Logan Legit's head.
Oh my God!
The Marauder.
Oh my God, could it be?
1, 2, 3.
Your winner and new WWA National Champion, Jones!
My God, the People's Temple have taken the WWA National Championship.
Jones is the new national champion. I can't believe it. Through some underhanded tactics by the People's Temple, Logan Legit has lost the national championship, and I fear for this reign.
Drake Jackson, I can't keep control over them. I don't know anybody in the back who can keep control over them. What the hell are we going to do? The People's Temple have our WWA National Championship.
God save anyone who steps up to challenge Jones for the WWA National Championship. Through no fault of Logan Legit's own, he took a kendo stick to the back of the head. But it wasn't enough. Jones is the new WWA National Championship. But stick around, because our main event is up next. CCW's career is on the line. Dakota France versus Vanderpool. This is Hysteria.
Be sure to follow the World Wrestling Alliance online. You can find updates, event info, and more at facebook.com/WWAISNOW. Also, you can find us on Twitter and Instagram at WWAISNOW. Full shows and more video content can be found at youtube.com/WWAISNOW. Also, the WWA is now on TikTok. Find us at WWAISNOW1.
This man.
We're back on WWA Hysteria.
Making his way to weighing in at 165 pounds. He comes to us tonight all the way across the pond from Liverpool, England. He is the current owner and president of World Wrestling Alliance Evansville. I give to you the Prince of Perfection, Vanderpool!
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, there is your world cruiserweight champion, the Prince of Perfection, Vanderpool, who is going to do to Dakota France tonight exactly what I will be doing to Terry Waddell McGee in the near future. God, I hate this little twerp.
Well, the world Colonel-weight champion, as you're referring to him, and as the belt refers to him, facing off with Dakota France one-on-one tonight. CCW and Dakota France had to win both of their matches tonight for CCW to be an active competitor in the World Wrestling Alliance.
His opponent weighs in at 181 pounds, Dakota France!
Dakota France and Vanderpool, no strangers to one another, former tag team champions in the Royal Three. However, Dakota France turned over a new leaf shortly after Vanderpool assaulted CCW before forcing him out of the company as the new president of the WWA.
You know, I'm sick of you bringing this up. Like Dakota France wouldn't have also taken place in that beating if it would have been his decision to take the reins of this company. You mention it like CCW wouldn't have done that. CCW is a despicable man himself. This is a dog-eat-dog world. And of course, if it's a dog-eat-dog world, I think Dakota France would be probably more of like a Shih Tzu, maybe a poodle.
Listen.
Maybe a Chihuahua.
Let's not get this started, all right? Let's talk about this. We can talk like gentlemen. You're a gentleman, yes, Dakota? Huh?
It's more of a scoundrel.
Is he a gentleman or isn't he? Huh? Nah, it sounds like you're not a gentleman, Dakota. But I'll make you one, huh? I'll make you an offer that you cannot refuse. Are you ready for this? Dakota, we can be one again. Forget the 3, the 2, the 1. We can be something more, Dakota France. CCW, you want to reinstate him, and that's what this match is about. You want to reinstate CCW, huh? I had him out here in photos. He's making the money for me. Why not wrestle for me, too? I get it, Dakota. But you and I could be something so much more if you just lay down.
That's an incredible offer from a very generous Prince King Lord Vanderpool. Do you think Dakota France is going to use his brain and accept it?
I don't think the fans here want Dakota France to accept it.
Well, it wasn't too far in the past that Dakota France didn't give a damn what these fans thought.
Well, now more is on the line than that pride. CCW, one of Dakota France's oldest friends. They've had a very long friendship.
Oh my God, he's gonna do it.
Huh.
He's really gonna do it. This is brilliant.
2, kick out.
What do you think you're doing, Dakota France?
Yeah, Dakota France playing mind games with the WWA president.
Why would you not take an incredible opportunity like that, Dakota France? You're gonna do it. Oh my God.
Oh my God. Super kick right to Vanderpool, and he rolled out. You gotta think it would be over if Vanderpool would have stayed in the ring. Dakota France probably would have been able to pin him.
Well, It's nothing. Vanderpool is going to get up. That super kick didn't connect all the way. He's going to be able to get back in there. Oh my God, is he going to be able to get back in the ring?
I don't know.
Wait, Drake Jackson. Oh my God.
Dakota France could win.
Oh my God, it's at 8. No.
Yeah, Dakota France could win this by count out. Hey!
Your winner via countout, Dakota France.
No.
Oh, okay.
That's not how we're doing it.
CCW's reinstated.
No. You seem to forget that I'm in charge. I make the rules. I do what's best for this company. Listen, you disagree with me now, but you know in your heart this is not the way it goes down. So we're gonna restart this match, and we're gonna fight fair and square, all right?
Brilliant idea from Lord King Prince Vanderpool.
Ref, call for restart the match, ring the bell.
So as president of the World Wrestling Alliance, you have to remember Vanderpool does have the authority to do this. He's not
I know he has the authority to do it, but come on. Dakota France just won CCW's job back, and now he's got to do it again?
Won his job back. It was a count out. I don't think count outs are fair victories. I think truly this needs to be settled in the ring. Like men.
Listen to you.
Listen to me? Yes, I'm right. I'm the vice president of this company.
If Vanderpool would have won that by count out, you'd be singing a different tune.
Excuse me. First of all, you are not worthy of my singing. Second of all, Vanderpool was just playing mind games with Dakota France himself. Maybe he planned it coming in. Yeah, there you go. Look at that. Vanderpool back in charge.
Shoulder block by the WWA president. Dakota France ducks under again. Leapfrog and a trip up. And Vanderpool walking across Dakota France's back. More of an insult to injury, or more of an insult than injury, excuse me.
God, what a beautiful man.
And back at a stalemate. Dakota France and Vanderpool collecting themselves, ready to get what I guess is the real match underway. It's ridiculous.
What do you mean it's ridiculous?
It's ridiculous.
Do you want to send these fans home with a count-out victory?
Dakota France already won. These fans would be happy with that count-out victory because CCW would be reinstated.
See, I think your view might be a little shifted. You've spent a little bit too much time as... Oh, my goodness.
Double axe handle does not work. Dakota France out of the way as a pair of arm drags and a hip toss send Vanderpool to the canvas. So I guess there has to be 3 victories tonight for CCW to get a contract back. As an in-ring competitor, CCW has to beat 747, which he did. Dakota France has to beat Vanderpool the first time, which he did. And now Dakota France has to beat Vanderpool a second time.
Listen, if count-out victories mattered all that much, then why would championships not change hand? Oh my God, I'm sorry, I'm lost for words right now.
Lost for words, yeah, you're shook by Terry,
CCW's
mother. We will be seeing Colonel Harper and Terry go one-on-one on the next episode of Hysteria, Rock and Roll Forever, in which we will also see the Rock and Roll Express face the WWA Tag Team Champions, and whoever wins that tag team tournament coming up in Eddyville.
Gonna punch Terry's fake teeth out of her face.
Look at this, double axe handle was blocked by Dakota France, and he goes low with the kick, kicking Vanderpool in the stomach.
I don't know about some of these kicks. I think they're a little south of the border.
Well, the referee hasn't called for it, and I know Devin Pointer has an eagle eye in there.
This referee, first of all, this referee did a fast count whenever Vanderpool was on the outside. He never checked to see if he was okay. He just immediately went for a count out. I think this referee's a little bit biased.
Oh, look at this. Dakota France is starting the engines. The pace car is taking it into pit row. The Dakota 500 is underway. Oh!
I don't know.
1, 2.
But you're going to need a lot more than that if you want to put away the World Colonelweight Champion.
The World Colonelweight Champion. You had that belt made. Although I do have to appreciate your craftsmanship. It's not made out of like paper and cardboard, or it isn't some sort of toy belt spray painted. Oh, a clothesline from Dakota France. And he sends Vanderpool to the floor.
Oh, man. That was
Nasty
unfortunately
fall.
a nasty fall for him. He's got to get his wits about him.
Yeah, nasty fall to the WWA president. Oh, and Dakota
and
France
look at
going
that
for a
shot.
suicide dive, and Vanderpool able to cut him off.
Vanderpool doing to Dakota France what Britney Spears is going to do to the rest of her family members.
What's that?
Oh, just like bash their face against stuff.
You know, I would be okay with that.
Oh, are we agreeing on something,
Yeah,
folks?
but speaking of that, Vanderpool with a hard strike to Dakota France, bouncing Dakota France's head off the apron. Vanderpool now toying as the referee is continuing his 10 count.
Ooh.
Hard strike from the WWA president.
I taught him that.
Oh, and he puts Dakota France up on the apron. Hard strike from Vanderpool.
I gotta be honest, I'm not quite sure what he's thinking. What could he possibly be going for? You don't think.
Look at this, no way. Oh! Dakota France moves, and that knee of Vanderpool's met the post.
Oh no.
Oh, wait a second, that opens up Dakota France going for the sharpshooter.
Oh, Prince Lord King Vanderpool.
He's wrestling him over.
What is our glorious Cruiserweight champion going to do?
Wait a
if
second,
only if
wait a
somebody was
second.
out here to help.
There's Nick Depp. There's Nick Depp. There's Nick Depp, and there's 747.
And it all goes to plan.
Yeah, well, hey, guess what? They attacked Dakota France. He just won.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner via disqualification.
No.
Oh, but we don't want to send these fans home with a disqualification.
Fellas. Hey, fellas. Calm down now. There's no need for this. This is not how it ends either. We have to do this fair and square by the rules. Platinum standard. No. So let's make this completely fair and part of the rules. I call for a restart of the match as a no disqualifications match.
Oh, come on.
And keep in mind, these matches have been restarted, meaning that Dakota France technically does not have a victory tonight.
Are you kidding me?
The match got restarted. The match got restarted. Whenever the referee restarts the match.
Oh, yeah! It's the man whose career's on the line.
What are you gonna do?
CCW!
This son of a bitch.
He's got a sledgehammer.
Oh my God!
Well, he hit 747 with it. Nick Depp able to duck out of the way. And CCW is about to chase Nick Depp out of here. Nick Depp's gone.
Oh my God.
Vanderpool and Dakota France are the only two left at the ring.
But you know what? Vanderpool is still up, and Vanderpool, everything is still sticking to our strategy. He knows that he's going to come away with the victory tonight. It doesn't matter if CCW might be a thorn in our sides. Vanderpool is still going to walk away with the belt.
CCW is guarding the entranceway, and Dakota France turning the pedigree around. Wait, inside cradle, 2.
Oh, I thought that was 3.
Strikes ducked by Dakota France.
Oh, look at the punch.
Big punch to the face of Dakota France as Dakota France went for a shoulder tackle. 1, 2. Dakota France kicks out.
But Dakota France needs to remember this is a no disqualification match, meaning that anything Vanderpool wants to do in this match, he can do in this match legally. He is going to learn what future President Olivia Rodrigo has been saying for months. It's brutal out here, and Vanderpool is going to be the one to show him.
CCW is guarding the entryway, but this might be his last night here in the World Wrestling Alliance as an active competitor.
Oh, do you think he's thinking superplex?
Looks like he is, but
no.
Dakota France is fighting out of it.
No, Dakota France.
Look at
Oh no, what is this little baked potato thinking? Oh my God! Tornado DDT!
1,
No,
2.
no. Oh, thank
Kick
God.
out by Vanderpool.
Vanderpool needs to get his wits about him. This is not okay.
Oh wait,
No, you
Dakota
put
France
that
has the
belt down.
championship.
You put that belt
He has the
down.
World Cruiserweight Championship. Yeah.
You're not worthy of that championship.
He's got the World Cruiserweight Championship. championship. What's he going to do with it?
World Cruiserweight Championship down, sir.
He did put it down, and now he's lining up for that super kick. No, Vanderpool
that's right.
ducks
Use it on him.
grabs the championship right across the face of Dakota France.
20. Sorry, folks. That's how it goes.
1, 2,
3.
Dakota France kicks out. It's no disqualification. Vanderpool can't believe it.
He kicked out of a shot from the most prestigious championship in this company.
That thing's probably made out of plastic, knowing you.
No, it's actually aluminum.
Look at this.
Oh my God, he's
going for the pedigree. No, Dakota France turns it around into a low kick. Clothesline.
Oh, another shot.
Yeah,
that's right, Vanderpool.
From
Show him
the
who's
WWA
boss.
president.
There's a reason why they call him the king.
Clothesline, and Dakota France is on the outside. Forearm over the ropes. Double knees to the face. 1, 2. Kick out.
And he kicked out again. You cannot take anything away from the wherewithal of the World Cruiserweight Champion. He is a brutal competitor. He is a dangerous man. He is the prince of perfection for a reason. He is going to be walking away with the victory, and CCW is going to be back to collecting food stamps.
Vanderpool thrown into the corner by Dakota France. Big boot by Vanderpool.
That's right.
Vanderpool
going up to the
setting
top
up
rope.
top. Knee strike misses. He might have hurt his knee there.
Oh no.
Oh, it's that knee. And Dakota France picks him out. Picks him for the sharpshooter. Kicks to the face by Vanderpool.
Oh, thank God he was able to get out of there.
Ripcord. Wait, it was caught.
No.
Sharpshooter by Dakota France.
Vanderpool.
Could this be it?
Vanderpool.
Could he tap out?
No, he's not going to tap.
CCW could be an active competitor.
He's not going to tap.
He taps out.
Your winner, Dakota France.
Dakota France just beat Vanderpool 3 times in a row to get CCW's job back despite having all of the odds stacked against him. What a day in this company's history. Dakota France has won CCW his job back as an active competitor in the World Wrestling Alliance ring. Look at that. Best friends, Dakota France and